Who's ready for the Dirt Life Show?
Woo-wee! Welcome this fine Monday night to episode 79 of the Dirt Life Show. We got an awesome show for you guys tonight. We cannot wait to get into your story over here with Ethan Groom.
Hi, you guys.
Ethan is a youth racer for, four-wheel parts, for Polaris, for Method Race Wheels, and a bunch of other companies. He's an awesome kid. Always hangs out with his buddies the whole time, and he's at the races. And we're going to talk a lot about camaraderie and stuff tonight. And one of our featured guests, in December, Maddie Wedeking is here. She's going to be co-hosting the Dirt Life Show tonight. So welcome, Maddie.
Thank you. I can't wait.
And she wore teal and has her Starbucks as usual. So thanks for coming in and helping out. We really appreciate it. Like I said, that's episode 79 of the Dirt Life Show. I'm Georgie Hamill, and we are stoked to be in Four Wheel Parts Temecula. It's a really nice shop, man. They let us set up right in the middle of the store today. So thank you to all the guys over here at Four Wheel Parts for setting everything up. I think we may be having a couple difficulties streaming to Facebook today. So if you guys don't see it on Facebook, please jump over to YouTube and check it out. We already got some comments coming in on YouTube, so we would love to hear from you guys. We want all of your questions to come through for Ethan, and maybe even if you have some questions for Maddie, that'd be cool too. Tonight we're going to have a lot of fun, actually. We have a battle royale between the two of you with some questions. Are you smarter than a third grader?
That's not gonna go good.
We already know we're not.
One of our best buddies, Kaden Danbury, was the one who submitted them, so he's got some real tricks up his sleeve.
Now.
So that's going to be fun. And the audience here today, all your guys' family members can play along with us. I think your brother might actually probably win at this Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader? Like waste all of us. But yeah, so we're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. We're going to talk about racing families and, like I said, camaraderie and different things like that. So I think it's going to be a pretty cool show. Talking about how to get into racing, what you kind of can expect from the people around you, and how everybody just goes and helps each other. You might see a few people walking around behind us. Four Wheel Parts is still open. They're still doing business. They're still helping all their customers. So, like I said, thank you very much to those guys for helping us out and giving us a place to have this show today. One of your buddies, Casey Sims, is going to be calling in at 5 o'clock for 5:20. And he's got some funny stories to share.
Plenty of stories.
And Kaden Danbury is also going to be calling in a little bit later after commercial break. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about that I thought was super cool was you just got done with a soccer game. Well, half of a soccer game, I guess, right?
Yeah, we had to skip out on the second half so we could get here.
Oh,
it was much worth it, though. Well worth it.
Does that mean motorsports is more important than stick and ball sports, or?
No. So we've committed to this interview for the past couple months, and soccer season kind of. Here's the season a week ago. So.
Took a backseat. All right, Maddie. If you had to pick between soccer and doing motorsports related stuff, what do you pick?
Oh, I already have.
Oh, really?
Definitely motorsports. Yeah, I used to play soccer, so.
Is that what you guys were talking about before the show?
Yes. Yeah.
What position do you guys play?
I play goalkeeper.
So I used to play goalkeeper as well.
Really?
Yeah, it was interesting.
I wonder if you guys could learn a little bit from each other.
Maybe.
Were you the one that fully dives after the ball and scrapes their knees and are you that?
Oh yeah,
That's us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Both of you guys?
You might as well. I mean,
Yeah.
you got one job is to make sure the ball doesn't go behind you.
Even if you're going to get
it
tore
doesn't.
up?
That's okay.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are so into the stick and ball sports, but I think you guys probably put the same amount of effort into your guys' motorsports programs, huh?
Oh yeah, a lot of effort, a lot of time goes into it, and definitely the parents have a lot to do with it. They're definitely huge supporters of the program.
Yeah, that's a huge thing that we're going to talk about tonight. So a couple other subjects that we're going to be covering tonight. One of them is very important to all of us here, and that's golf carts.
Yes, everybody's favorite.
Yeah, everybody loves golf carts. Sarah Danbury will appreciate this subject. Unfortunately, her golf cart will not be appreciating the subject. But and then one other thing that I wanted to talk about that's a hot topic is, did you guys see any of the posts on social media for that new racing? It's called Extreme E with Sarah Price and Kyle LeDuc.
That's a cool little program they got over there.
Yeah, it's pretty rad, right? All overseas, kind of like Dakar Rally-ish, but in those electric vehicles. Mm-hmm. We should just talk about that right now, actually.
Yeah, let's do it.
So what did you guys see when you guys saw on social media?
I just saw that the Chip Ganassi race team has Kyle LeDuc and Sarah Price, and they're going up a bunch I think there's a couple big names that they're going up against.
Yeah, tons and tons of good drivers.
They're
I think
all in different countries too.
Yeah.
So it's all spread out. It's pretty cool.
yeah, it's like full international, kind of like the Dakar Rally, right?
Yeah.
We already got a bunch of people commenting in on YouTube. So Caitlin says hi. Kendall says hi. Tanner says hey. I don't know how you say his name. Emil says, where you at, Ethan? Emil, is that how you say it?
Emil.
Emil, yeah. He says, where you at, Ethan? And then Caitlin says, let's go. Yeah, Caitlin's all over the place, man. She keeps commenting. Hey. Oh, is that somebody special for you?
I don't
No?
No. Well, Caitlin is all over the place, man. How long have you been riding?
How long have I been riding? I've been driving since 2016.
20. Okay, so a little while here.
Yeah.
Dude,
4 or 5 years.
I think that's almost as long as my side-by-side racing career. And Emil says, let Maddie know her fresh method apparel should show up this week. Oh, there you go.
Oh, good. I've been wondering.
And Kaden Danbury says, hey, guys. And John Lewis says, the Extreme E field is stacked. So, yeah, let's get back into the Extreme E talk. So, first, before you guys, think about any type of racing, what's the main goal? To ride side-by-sides and be a champion in the side-by-side racing? Or, trying to go trophy truck? You trying to go Extreme E? Where are you guys at?
I'm trying to definitely go desert racing. Side-by-sides are cool. If an opportunity for a Class 1, Class 10, or a bigger vehicle comes up, I'll definitely take it.
Well spoken, man. Well spoken.
Yeah.
How about you, Maddie?
I agree with you. I love the side-by-sides, and, I'll definitely stick to that. But if I get an opportunity to do something bigger, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that I have to say is that no matter what, if you're talking about being marketable and having some sort of sponsors and support for the program, side-by-sides will always win 24/7 over everybody else.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of eyes on the sport, too.
Yeah,
It's a bigger
exactly.
market.
And then plus you can take your side-by-side to the dunes too, right?
Yeah, you can take it wherever you want.
Go out in the
Rock run.
desert. To Starbucks if you live in Arizona.
Yeah, you can. In Havasu, you can, and
Yeah.
I've done it.
I used to go get burritos and tacos in the Yamaha YXZ, so you could be taking the Polaris Racer to Starbs all the time.
Oh, already have.
You have?
Oh, yeah.
In California?
No.
I was going to say, you're
Lake
crazy.
Havasu. Oh, yeah.
How many times did you take the Razor in Lake Havasu? Because you were there for a few days.
I mean, we got golf carts there. I've taken the golf cart to Starbucks. I take whatever
Whatever's available
goes.
to get you there quickest.
Yes.
Do you know about her Starbucks addiction?
Oh, no, I've seen it, though. She's
It's pretty
addicted
good,
to it.
yeah. I think your dad might know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so actually, while we're talking about family, I'm going to give a little bit of a different camera angle here. You can see some of the family in the background here. We also got the back of the four-wheel parts store. This store is actually super cool. One of the better four-wheel parts that I've seen. Tons and tons of wheels in the background, bumpers, all kinds of different stuff. And obviously, you guys can see behind us that they are helping all the customers still, even with all the stuff, the crappy stuff that's been going on in the world these days. So, all right. So, if you ever got an opportunity to drive an electric vehicle like the Extreme E stuff that Sarah Price and Kyle LeDuc are doing, would you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Because to me, it seems like there's a lot of pressure behind such a big series. Like, we were talking about it before, like how you guys deal with pressure before the show. You think you can handle it?
Yeah, I think a lot of the pressure just comes because it's a new series and it's kind of revolutionary. It's revolutionizing the sport. It's bringing electric motors into what was always a gas-driven sport.
Hey, I got to tell your dad, because Colby's sitting in the background over here, I think I should just, acquiesce and let him host the show because he's so well-spoken. I mean, this is pretty awesome, man. But I agree with you 100%. What do you think? Would you be able to handle that pressure? Because, if you make a mistake, whoo-wee.
I mean, there already was a mistake made, and I mean,
That's where I'm
people
going.
are harping on them for anything, So there's a lot of pressure behind it, but I mean,
Well,
that's
let's
what you
expand
gotta
on what
decide.
you're talking about a little bit. So Kyle LeDuc was in a full pressure, intense situation to win his, I don't know what you want to call it, a qualifier or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And he went to pass in the dust, and he made a little mistake. It wasn't too bad. He didn't fully ruin anybody, but he bumped into somebody and ended both of their days. And when you have that type of pressure on you to win in that type of level of racing, it's pretty intense, right? Because you're going to go all out and do whatever you can. But what's the repercussions? Can you handle it? I would feel really bad. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of eyes on the sport, and there's a lot of big teams there. I know Chip Ganassi. I don't know the last time they've been in dirt motorsports. They're always into the NASCAR and the IndyCar,
Exactly.
and the IMSA series, but they're investing a lot of time and money into that off-road racing. So I think it's definitely not. They're not going to like the performance so far, but I think they'll only get better.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only get better from there, right? But like, what do you do in that exact situation, though, Maddie? Do you sit there and let it happen? Do you come out and explain the situation on social media? Like, how would you deal with it? Because I want to know coming from a youth racer.
If that was, if that was me, I would definitely explain myself. I mean, no one understands really how much pressure he's going through.
Or the situation, right?
None of us will understand that or the situation because we're not in it.
Yep.
And I mean, I could only imagine how much stress and pressure, he's under right now. So, I mean, he's already came out and spoken about it. I've seen some of the comments he's said, and I mean, he's been respectful. He's owned up to it, and I definitely think that's the best way to go.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the more transparent you can be, the better you are in the situation, right?
I mean, it's already the past. It's already happened. He can't change anything now. He could just, get better. And he's a great driver in the first place. So
yeah,
it's only going to go up from there.
Exactly.
I agree. It does suck that people have to be so, uneducated and just like keyboard warriors, though, right?
Yeah.
But I guess that is a thing of being a professional race car driver. You have to deal with it, right? Have you guys ever had any situations like that arise with you?
No, I'm not. I haven't gotten to that top level yet.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Like I always know that. High school, whatever you want to call it, kids are always so vicious. You know what I mean? So I was wondering if anything like that ever happened with you guys. It's pretty gnarly when stuff like that happens. Like you got to feel bad for Kyle when stuff like that happens, but you also got to feel good for the sport because the sport is getting so much publicity from it. Yeah, and attention. So that's really good. We're going to talk with Casey Sims in just a little bit here, but one of the questions came in from Nico, and it said, what kind of blinker fluid do you use, Ethan?
Blinker fluid? We got to go with the Maxima blinker fluid.
Yeah, there we go.
Maxima Racing Oils, they have the best stuff. Trans, oil, blinker fluid, they got it all.
Yeah, nice, just totally natural sponsor plug. Just let it flow. Just let it flow. How about blinker fluid for you?
I'm running low on it.
I thought you were going to say Starbucks.
I was going to say Starbucks, but that's too predictable. I can't let people predict it.
If you're looking for a sponsorship,
I've already tried. They don't even reply to me. I'm not cool enough yet.
It's because you're totally already making their business so much money.
I know. Like, why sponsor me? I'm going to do it anyways.
And then while I get Casey on the line, one of the questions we also got was, how did you get so fast? And I think that's a drawn-out question, right? Like, we should probably wait a little bit to see how you started racing, and then...
Yeah, we'll say that one for a little bit later.
Okay. I think an easy answer would be just mash the throttle.
Hit the right pedal harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget the brake pedal.
So, what'd your brother say? I didn't hear him, so... so we'll get Casey Sims on the line, and we'll see how he's doing, and see if we can get some funny stories happening here. Right now, if you guys had to pick between going racing Extreme E or going and finishing your season, if the opportunity arose, what would you pick?
Probably Extreme E.
It
looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's such a big opportunity that not a lot of people will ever get the opportunity to do. So I think that would definitely.
Yeah, I think so too. Casey Sims, are you there, bud? Can you hear us, Casey?
Casey.
I don't know if Casey can hear us. We can't hear him, so. Casey, can you hear us, buddy? Well, we'll wait for Casey a little bit, but if I had the opportunity, I would probably pick Extreme E too. The only thing that I think is crazy is that I would show up like a week or two in advance because you got to be so, I don't know what you want to call it, like adjusted to the time and the differences and the food and all that stuff. To me, it would be like really crazy to be able to have that all like change instantly and then have to go perform.
Yeah.
Didn't they have to quarantine before? I know I saw Sarah Price's story, and it looks like they were
Kristen Matlock was saying something about that in Dakar.
Oh, at Dakar, they had to quarantine for a couple days until the test results came back, right?
Oh, really?
I believe so, yeah.
So, that being said, I would think that they would have had a quarantine for the Extreme E stuff too, right?
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, I saw their stories on social media, and it sounds like they did quarantine.
That's nuts, man.
So at least they had time to adjust. And I mean, I saw Sarah; she was working out. She was making the best out of quarantine.
Was she really?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I wonder how much time they had.
I have no. I
There we
imagine
go.
3 or 4 days.
Casey Sims, are you there, buddy?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. I think you were on mute or something. Hey, so we were just talking about Extreme E racing. Have you seen any of that on social media?
I have seen a few of it on social media. Yeah, I have seen a little bit. I saw Sarah Price and Kyla Duke were racing.
Yeah, it's pretty rad, right? So we asked Maddie and Ethan both if they had the opportunity to race Extreme E or keep racing side by sides, what would they pick? And they both picked Extreme E. What would you pick?
I would probably pick Extreme E. If I had to pick that between side by sides, I'd probably pick that.
Well, we know you like fast cars, right? So I feel like that would be a perfect fit for you. Hey, so we kind of prefaced a little bit of this before getting into the Extreme E talk, but you have some funny stories, I think, of Ethan, don't you?
Oh yeah, I got quite a few funny stories of Ethan and I together.
Oh gosh, let's hear him.
Yeah, Ethan's already blushing, dude. What's one of the funny stories you got, bud?
So one funny story I got is from the Parker 250 when him and I were exploring in Sarah's golf cart, and we found the ravine. So we decided to go down this ravine, and it turned out it had a lot of rocks and a lot of thorn bushes.
In a golf cart?
Golf cart that's like this high off the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, so we may have rolled it a few times, may have jumped it a few times.
Are you being serious?
I think we laid it on its side once. I don't think we ever fully rolled it, but we tipped it on its side.
Maddie, don't you want to know who was driving at the time?
I mean, I would imagine it was Casey.
It was Casey. I was the one out there holding the car up so Casey could get it off the rocks.
Did you ever fly out?
Yeah, once. Yeah,
I may or may not have flown out of about 69 golf carts. So I'm right there with you, buddy.
Yeah, I think that we both flew into the thorn bush at one point.
Oh, really?
Big old thorn bush, and it's like half the length of the golf cart.
Hey,
you have to fit through it. So we're holding the branches back on the thorn bush and
Casey,
going straight through.
You should see what Maddie and I are looking at right now with Ethan's parents. Like, Ethan's dad just looked at him like with the biggest grin. He's not happy, dude.
And his mom's like, I want to hear more. What did my son do?
All right, so keep coming clean, Casey. What else you got?
That's one really funny story. And then it's just like with all the kids at the track, and it's always a fun, good time with everybody. Always hanging out and coming up with stuff and punching each other, and it's always fun. Yeah,
it really is. That's one of the things that I wanted to bring up. We had an Instagram Live on Thursday with the boys as well, Kaden, Casey, and Ethan, and we talked about golf carts as well. I think that's going to be a theme from now on, I guess. But in fact, I think you were looking at new golf carts too, right? Weren't you?
No, we were with the Gonzalez brothers.
Oh,
and they
that's
came
what it
up
was,
and
yeah.
they picked a golf cart up, and there was a couple golf carts right there. Like, oh, that's perfect.
So
we need them.
Side by side started from golf carts, and then they evolved into what they are now. And you're like reversing it, like or trying to do the same
baby
thing.
back down.
That's funny. So, Casey, what was one of the things that you were thinking about the camaraderie and stuff when you first met these kids? Did you know that you were going to become we'll call it best friends with everybody?
Well, I remember I've known Kaden Danbury since he was basically a baby, but I remember being at the track, and I remember the first time we met the Gonzaleses, and it was like we got to talking. I was like, we're going to be friends for a long time. And then I actually remember whenever we met Ethan Groom, my mom and I were standing, I think it was the 2016 World Championships. We were standing in line, and we heard them, and we heard Ethan go, "Is that Casey Sims behind us?" So we turned around, and we started talking, and little did we know we'd be best friends. And it's always awesome to think back and be like, wow, we all started from little kids, and now we're actually like growing up.
That is really cool though. And you got to think about like how long that friendship is going to last. Like we just talked about picking Extreme E, right? Like what if, like legitimately, what if in 10 years you guys are at a different level in your racing careers and you're still that good of friends? Like how cool would that be?
That would be pretty cool getting to show up to the car rally or Extreme E together.
Yeah. And Maddie also has very similar, story too, like with Sierra. And who else do you usually kick it with at the races?
Normally it's just Sierra and I and Seth. We always hang out.
Yeah, so could you imagine in 10 years, like what the difference is going to be? You guys are still going to be really good friends, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So that all really actually means a lot to us older people because we understand work ethic, the support mechanism, and all that stuff that goes into these racing, careers that we're talking about now. And the amount of effort that, like you said, Ethan, the families put into it, to see all of the backup, we'll call it, and everybody supporting back to the families is phenomenal, dude. It really is. Like, you guys got to really appreciate it when you're at the races, I'm sure.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, that's for sure. And your friends, though, too.
Yeah, that are always there. We're there for a good time, but it's pretty cool because we'll be an hour before the race, we'll be out there messing around with each other, but then we hop in the cars and we're battling hard with each other, and then after the race, we're back to messing around.
Yeah, that's cool.
You guys are back to flipping golf carts
Back
together.
to flipping golf carts in park.
Yeah.
Maniacs over here, right? What about, have you ever thought about what you're going to do as a professional career? Like, let's just say you got to get a job and make some money to support this whole racing thing. I know Maddie has thought about it, and she's actually executing now.
Yeah, I want to go to college, and I was thinking about orthodontics and like going to medical school or dental school and like getting my doctorate.
All right, I got a good story about this. Have you ever had any dental work, Maddie?
I mean, other than teeth cleanings.
Like, did you ever do like braces or anything like
I
that?
got my
Like
wisdom
crazy?
teeth pulled out, but that's not it.
Have you ever broken a tooth?
No.
All right, so if you do this good, you can make a lot of money. Because I spent basically my whole life savings on getting my teeth fixed. So I had a bad accident and all my teeth got busted up and fell out. And the way that they put them back together wasn't like those little caps that everybody talks about and stuff. They rebuilt my teeth out of almost like the way that I would explain it, like Bondo on the side of a car. Mm-hmm. And so what she did was she put little baggies over the teeth that were broken and not there, and she filled it up with this stuff called BioClear. And it's basically like a glue that turns into cement. And she formed and made all of these by hand.
That's crazy.
It was nuts, dude. It was like a total torture, but it was nuts. And now I can eat more tacos.
Perfect.
So that stuff goes a long way. It's not just about making money. It's about making people happy. Because if that never happened to me, I'd be sitting there eating mashed potatoes for the rest of my life. And she fixed me.
That's no fun. You want to have tacos.
Exactly. So how cool would it be if you could go in there and help people like that?
Yeah, it'd be pretty awesome. I go to the orthodontist and just seeing, I know it makes me much happier. My teeth 3 years ago were not straight, and now we're over here looking a little bit better.
When do you get your braces off?
A couple months, right?
Oh, it's coming up that quick, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, how amped are you?
I'm pretty pumped. Yeah.
Dude, that's going to be sweet, man. And then you won't have to worry about cleaning all the junk out of there,
Yeah,
huh?
man. The flossing makes it way too hard.
You finally have popcorn?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Dude, there you go. That's going to be awesome. So we had a couple more comments coming in. John Lewis said that Extreme E field is stacked. He's totally right. 2016, that's crazy. So Caitlin didn't know that you started racing in 2016, Ethan?
Yeah, I started 2016. The race that Casey was talking about was 2016 UTV Worlds. That was my first race.
Oh, really? When did you start, Casey?
I started in 2015.
Oh, okay, so just a little bit before Ethan then. What did you think? Another kid I got to battle against when he started coming up, or what?
Yeah, whenever I was hearing about the more and more kids, it was actually at that time, it was more of an exciting thing because the first year. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good, man.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the first year that we raced, we were lucky to get 6 cars, 6 170s at the track, and it was awesome seeing that the 2016 World Championships, a lot more cars showed up, and it was awesome actually.
So do you remember that time?
Yeah, I remember showing up. I remember we talk about it all the time now. Is they're saying the first year there was 6 to 10 cars, and the next year was 20, and we got to 40, and I think one year there was up to 60 170s out there.
Holy smokes, are you
That's
serious?
insane.
Yeah, it's grown so much since it started.
Dude, when I was racing Lucas, I remember us having 35, 40 guys in the 1,000 class, 60. That's insane.
That's more than most desert races.
Yeah, there was a lot of cars.
What? That was at a works race?
It was Worlds. It was 2019, right?
So
2019.
I don't want to give up her cover, but Maddie's already thinking about racing 170s. Just the FYI.
I think
Shit, I'll race them with
starting
you.
a new career,
I'll do it
and
with
it's
you.
going to be racing 170s.
You want to join us?
Dude, you know how far I would hang out the side of that thing? Maddie might be able to fit a little bit.
No, you do a bubble top, over your head. You make a little bubble.
My cage, you know how those dorky cages look when they have the tall guys in on the razors? Mine would look so tall. It'd be have you ever seen when Ronald McDonald driving down the road with no top, or Shaquille O'Neal with a convertible? That would be me. I'd be totally hanging out. And well, Casey too. Casey's a little bit taller than you guys, so he might have an issue if he tries to get back down to 170s.
Yeah, I would definitely be into that though.
Yeah.
Here we go. Actually, you know what? Now that Casey says that, 170s, I've had so many crashes, it might be a little more my speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I
fun.
could get into this, right? And then Casey commented in and said, "What's up? I'm glad that you chimed in, Casey. Hey, Maddie, how long did the Starbs gift card last you?" John Lewis says from Desert Squadron.
Like 2 days.
Was that like a huge gift card or no?
I believe it was a $25 gift card, but I got breakfast. So I got my egg bites with my drink. So once I get that in 2 days, but I was thankful he even sent that. Like,
So your
that was so cool.
your dad's over here, so I'm allowed to say this. God, she's bougie with the Starbucks thing, man. Holy cow, dude! This Starbucks addiction. I don't know how Matt, your boyfriend, deals with it, dude. Is he having to pull over at Starbucks like every 5 seconds when you guys are on road trips?
Like, I mean, it's just mandatory that we get it on the way out everywhere we go. And then, if we run out halfway before we get there, Barstow, there's a Starbucks. There's 2 Starbucks in Barstow. So got to keep our options open.
And a Del Taco, but you don't need that if you have Starbucks, right?
Oh, no, you can double dip. You can get a drink at Starbucks and then go get some tacos.
Do you have any addictions like this girl does, Ethan?
Not that I know of.
How about you, Casey?
I don't have any addictions like that, but my mom has a Starbucks addiction.
Oh, really?
Yes, she does.
So,
yeah.
She's just about as equal.
Maddie and Carla are
Yeah.
like best friends when it comes to Starbucks?
Oh, we're Starbucks
yeah.
best friends all the way.
I really think that we need to find a way to get your resume in front of the right person at Starbucks.
Right?
Like, really do.
If any of the viewers here know anyone at Starbucks,
Yeah.
give them my number.
Please, yeah. Let it happen.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. Extreme E Starbucks edition.
Starbucks
race car.
all like sponsored Starbucks
Dude.
all across the side of the car.
You're going to have to
That would be
start.
cool.
Do you drink
It
coffee,
would.
Ethan, or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you're going to have to start because if you guys are going to team up, then you're going to have to start drinking
Yeah.
coffee.
true.
Here,
So,
you'll drink the teas and then I'll drink the
Yeah,
coffee.
there we go.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom. So, Casey, I appreciate you calling in, bud. Do you have any other funny stories that you want to leave us with?
I don't think I have any more really funny stories.
All right. How about maybe a battle or something on track?
Oh,
Have you guys had like a battle royale?
I don't think Ethan and I have because actually my 170 we sold to Ethan and Ethan raced my 170.
Yeah.
Was that car pretty sweet?
Yeah, it was really fast. It was a good
Really?
car. Yeah.
What did it smell like? It had race fuel in it because I know that means cheater status,
Oh,
like
yeah.
super hard. All right. Well, hey, thanks, Casey. We really appreciate it, man. And one thing I wanted to say before you hang up, we have Kaden that's going to call in a little bit later, but I really think personally, and I know that Robert Blanton over at Warfighter Made, which I'm wearing my Warfighter hat today, appreciates that you guys go over there and do some philanthropy stuff. You guys help out by rebuilding some of the cars that they have, their Polaris Razors in the shop. I saw you washing a Humvee. Like, it's really cool that you guys are giving back to the community, not just the racing family. You guys are helping out veterans and things like that. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you guys?
It's always fun.
Yeah. What do you guys think about when you're over there doing stuff like that? Because you're really just taking yourself out and doing something selfless. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'll go out there and I'm like, man, these people that are going to be driving these on the adrenaline therapies, they've sacrificed everything for us. So the least I can do for them is fix up a car that they're going to drive or wash a car that they can drive.
It probably
Yeah.
feels pretty good to help out, huh?
Yeah, it feels amazing.
And how about for you, Casey?
It definitely feels awesome. Just like what Ethan said, they've done so much and they've fought so hard for our freedom, for us to even be able to go out and do for them to be even do adrenaline therapy and for us to even race. So just like what Ethan said, giving back just that little bit of being able to work on their car it's awesome. It feels so good. And it's really fun just to get over and you get to see everybody at the shop and you get to work on a car and it's always fun.
That's what I could think you guys could learn some stuff from that as well, right?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, totally.
taking apart the cars and I go home and do it to my car.
Yeah.
Learn the secrets from the
Yeah.
Warfighter Made crew.
And hearing all their stories, too, is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you guys hear a ton of stories at their shop. Like, it makes you respect them so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I ran into him actually at the Jarrett Brooks Camp Racer thing that I went to on Saturday too. Giving back to the kids and seeing some of the guys that are, veterans and stuff like that out there was really cool. So it's neat to have that whole camaraderie aspect. All right, Casey, we'll let you go, buddy, but definitely stay tuned because we got a battle royale. Are you smarter than a third grader? That's going to happen right here between Ethan and Maddie.
Game on.
Perfect.
That's not
I'll be
gonna be
watching it.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Hey, tell your parents we
Thank
said
you,
hello.
guys.
And thanks for
I
calling in.
will. No problem. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye, Casey.
Okay,
Bye, Casey.
Bye. See ya.
All right, so we had a couple more comments coming in. They're just flooding in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with everybody. Obviously, John Lewis asked how long that Starbucks card lasted. That was pretty funny. But if anybody else wants to give you a Starbucks card, like, should we just give them like your Instagram?
Yeah,
so that
give
you
them
can
my Instagram, and I mean, I'm
Yeah,
open to
just-
all DMs.
Yeah,
You know, Venmo.
let these
I
Starbucks
just got
cards
that.
flow.
Yeah, Apple Pay, anything works. You know.
Start giving Maddie Starbucks addiction to the next level. Yeah, and John Lewis also said it's nice to see two American teams, Ganassi and Andretti. Maybe you could expand on who those drivers are on the Andretti team, because I don't know who they are. And then Kendall Hawks 106. I was there with them, but I don't know what part that was. Do you remember where he was?
Oh
with
yeah,
you
he was
guys?
at Parker.
Not on the golf car, was he?
No, he was. He might have been on one of the later rides that Casey gave. He gave a
Dude,
bunch.
so
of rides.
basically, and yeah, John said I was blowing you guys out with all these stories. So I appreciate that, but I gotta admit, like, Kendall's kind of blowing himself out right here. Like, if he was with you guys, he kind of called himself out right there. So, but I do think it's cool that you guys are actually doing all this stuff, because those times you'll never forget. Like, there's been a million races that you probably can't remember that good, but you'll always remember these golf cart incidents, right?
Yeah, those will be coming up in like 50 years, and we'll all be like old. And yeah, hey, remember that one time we were in Parker riding a golf cart down narrow ravine with a bunch of rocks?
Flying out of it.
Yeah, people flying into thorn bushes.
What's one of the funniest stories that you've had with your friends at the races, Maddie?
You know, it's probably with Sierra a couple years ago at Glen Helen. We went out on a golf cart ride. Probably not the best idea, but we ended up putting our seatbelts on because we were safe. And the seatbelt actually got stuck in. So I was sitting on her lap and someone else was driving, and we both couldn't get out. And then the golf cart ended up dying by the amphitheater. Like, we were out there.
So
And
you guys had to walk?
yeah, Sierra and I started, like, we thought if we, like, could, like, bite on the seatbelt and, like, gnaw our way through the seatbelt, it would work. And then we both thought we could, like, hold on to the
What
side.
are you, like Bear Grylls or something?
I mean, we thought, but apparently we were wrong. And then we would both, like, move up at the same time to, like, try to break the seatbelt. It
That,
never
like,
worked out.
all I'm thinking about when you're talking about these stories is all of those, like, I don't know, James Bond things when they're tied up and they have somebody on their back, like they're both tied together and they're, like, using a little knife to saw
yeah,
zip
saw
ties
the
open.
rope.
Yeah, like, I see you guys, like, doing this, like, crazy stuff in the movie.
Yeah, no. Then there's Sierra and I were gnawing on it like it's a steak.
How'd you guys get out?
Funny.
Someone had a pocket knife. Whoever was driving had a pocket knife.
There
They
we
didn't
go.
tell us till half an hour after, and my teeth were sore.
So, Ethan, FYI, always carry a pocket knife. Just make sure it's shut when you're riding the golf cart.
Yeah,
Just in
because you
case.
never know. Seatbelt might get stuck when the person's
Yeah.
sitting on your lap.
That's crazy. That's a really good story,
That
though,
is a good
because
story.
it teaches you that if you're ever in a incident or something out in the desert, that you can use your teeth to gnaw off a seatbelt.
That was actually Sierra and I's very first time, like, actually hanging out together at a race, too.
Seriously?
That's a good way to bond.
That was the bonding
And
moment
it
right
was
there.
in
Yeah.
July at Glen Helen. We were sweating, so, like, I think our sweat just bonded us together.
That's hilarious. Yeah, and John Lewis also commented and said, "I've seen Matt Lasher's drinks. He is pretty much just as bad as Maddie."
So Matt gets Frappuccinos only, and he loves caramel. So when
Really?
we order it, we have to order it with, like, a boatload of caramel. And
Is that
I
what
mean-
you tell him, a boatload?
Oh, yeah.
Or
yeah,
do you
should-
just say, like, double?
No, I say boatload.
That's-
That way he
My
gets
dad
what
says,
he wants.
my dad uses the boatload term as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Twins.
So we go to the shop or whatever, and we'll go be like, the taco shop, and we'll be like, "Can I have a chimichanga?" And then he'll go with a boatload of jalapenos. And I'm thinking, like, the lady has no idea what he's talking about, but it comes out good every time.
Yeah. If you use that saying boatload, you get exactly what you want.
What does a boatload mean, though? Like, are boats just always loaded up? Because I would feel like if they're always loaded up, they sink, right? Like,
I mean,
so the term, like, boatload is always so confusing for me
It
because
is
I don't
actually.
get it. Like, logistically speaking, boats should not be all the way full, right?
they
'Cause would
probably
sink.
shouldn't.
They
But I
probably
mean,
shouldn't, yeah.
there's, like, boats that come from, like, Taiwan and stuff with a ton of things in it. Like,
Yeah, so they have a boatload.
They
yeah,
have a
boatload.
boatload of
It's like a decent amount.
Yeah.
All right, so like I said, thank you very much for Casey Sims calling in. I wanted to play a little game today. We haven't done this quite in a long time, actually, and I wanted to preface it by saying that, well, the game, first of all, is called "Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader?" So they have Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader on TV. But unfortunately, a person like me is not smart enough to answer those questions, so I took it down to third grade level.
Perfect.
we still can't answer them.
We still won't be able to get
But
them
I
right.
did one of these at the Lucas races, and it was awesome because everybody was like having so much fun. But then when we went to the UTV World Championship in, 2019, I walked up to the starting gate, and I had never met Sierra Roma before in my whole life, never shook her hand or anything. But I was walking around with my camera, and she goes, "Get away from me. I'm not going to answer any third grader questions." That was the first thing that she says to me, and I go, okay, well, apparently the first time I ever get her on the show, I'm only going to ask those
that's all you got to do
questions.
for the entire show.
Yeah, so don't tell her. Don't spoil it, Maddie, all right?
I won't.
We got to trick her. You can be the co-host, and then you can start asking the questions so it doesn't
Yeah,
come
be good.
there you go.
So, all right, well, are you guys ready to play?
Yeah, how's
Are
it
you-
work? We just buzzer in? or-
Yeah, I like the buzzer.
Yeah, it's-
Okay. Do you want to use the buzzer? I'd rather have the buzzer be your name so that people in our audience can hear what we're saying. So
Okay.
your name is your buzzer, okay?
Okay.
So if you know the answer, say your name, and then you have 5 seconds to answer the
Oh,
question.
only 5 seconds. So I can't say my
Okay,
name
fine.
and then get a pause?
You can
Can
have
we get
you can have
7?
10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yeah, you can have 10 seconds,
Okay.
but I guarantee your brother is going to be able to answer all these way quicker.
Jacob,
than you.
get the 10-second timer. Ready?
So,
Yeah.
all right. So,
it.
Jacob is in the back. We'll go ahead and show a little picture of Jacob back there.
Jacob, say hi. Wave to the camera.
Yeah. So
Wait.
he's back there, and he's doing really like. I guarantee you, he's going to be smarter than
Oh, yeah.
all of us. So,
guaranteed.
how should we do this? What should we have as the winner? Let's ask 4 questions, and then we'll have a double elimination or something if
Okay.
you guys do it. Okay. So the first question is. Actually, you know what? We'll just ask all these. Caden gave 9 questions. You want to just answer all 9 of them?
9? Okay,
Does
okay.
he think we're smart?
I know. Makes
Well,
me nervous.
every time he submits these, I'm like, dude, this kid is so much smarter than me. Like,
Oh, so
You know,
that means
he's
they're hard?
He's taking his homework
Yeah,
and he's
like,
giving
oh,
it
so
to
this
us.
is what we learned today. There we go.
I don't know, man, because some of these questions like blow my mind. How like I would never have remembered this from when I was in 3rd grade. But all right, so question number 1. Remember, your name is your buzzer, and you have 10 seconds to answer the question. And don't buzz in unless you know the answer, because I don't want dead air on this show for us. All right. The first Thanksgiving was celebrated by Native Americans and what other group of people?
Maddie,
Ethan. She beat me.
Okay, Maddie.
the Pilgrims.
Dude, all right, 1 point for Maddie. Are you keeping score back there, Jacob? So Maddie's got 1, okay? So Maddie won. Question number 2.
Okay.
Oh, dude, she's like on the.
I'm on it.
Her whole shots are going to be better than
Yeah.
you. Already. All right, question number 2. Dude, you better get ready.
I'm all right.
All right. Oh, he's probably just going to say his name and not even use his hand like
Yeah,
you are.
no,
You're-
why are we using the hand?
She's
Because I
extra.
like it.
I don't know what to
Okay.
do with my hands
Yeah, I
like
don't
Ricky
know what
Bobby right here. Name the American president on the $50 coin who was assassinated in 1963.
1963.
This
Maddie,
is
JFK.
yeah, Maddie got it. Okay, so 2 for Maddie. All right,
Man, I'm getting destroyed.
Ethan, it's like you were sleeping at the starting line already, dude. So we got to get it. All right, so we got some comments coming in. Hold off on the comments, or we're going to hold off on answering some of the comments right now. All right, question number 3, and this one's actually one of my favorite because I got a follow-up story to this. So, what is the name of a book about a friendship between a spider and a pig named Wilbur?
Ethan.
Ethan.
This is the Charlotte's Web.
Yep.
Darn
Boom.
it.
So
I went over that in
He's
English
catching-
class 2 days ago.
he's
so-
catching
or
up.
a
That
month
was
ago.
pretty intense, his answer right
It
there,
was. He
dude.
had like his
like,
hands
oh.
fluttering.
Dude, fully. So if you guys aren't watching on YouTube or Facebook, you guys can always catch the show afterwards. But if you guys are listening, you might want to actually just go watch because these the energy in the room is pretty intense. So my fun fact about that number 3 question, Charlotte's Web, was I hate reading, like hate it, right? Like I hate school and I hate reading. I did good at both of them, but I hated it. The only book I've ever read in my whole life that wasn't like an instruction manual or a textbook was Charlotte's Web.
Really?
Charlotte's
So, like,
Web doesn't have
aside from like
pictures.
mandatory school reading or whatever?
No, I even skipped out on that. I hated it. So I just totally skipped it. But that's the only one that actually interested me for some reason when I was little. So Charlotte's Web it is, right?
Yep.
All right. Question number 4.
Okay.
Dude, you got to tie it up, man. What is the name of a body of land that is completely surrounded by water?
Ethan?
Oh, Maddie?
Island?
He did say it first. You did your intensity was good, but he got it.
You weren't very confident in your answer,
No,
though.
but
dude, I kind of feel
that's a really simple
It was very
question. I was like,
simple.
wait, hold on.
Ethan, I kind of feel like you should
I
do
think
the hand
kindergartner
move. The
Can
hand
we have
move is
buzzers next time?
because I almost picked Maddie because of her intensity.
Yeah, we gotta get buzzers next time.
Yeah, buzzers next time,
Yes.
so you can say it. Yeah, okay, tied it up, dude.
Tied it up.
Good job.
That was easy. He let an easy
I know.
one for you.
All right,
That was really simple. I was like, wait, hold on. There's gotta.
It's
What's the
gotta be a
catch?
trick
Well,
question.
something else.
all right.
An iceberg.
Yeah.
Question number 5. Here we go. What is the capital of New York?
Oh, Maddie.
Yeah, give it to Maddie.
New York.
No,
Ethan,
wrong.
Albany.
Dude, he got it.
Let's go.
Whoa, Maddie. So
New York, like the city?
you whole shot hard, but you either blew a belt or got a flat tire because he just passed you. So
I blew a motor. I'm good at those.
no, it's not a motor because it's not the end. You
Not
can
the-
still,
I can still win.
Yeah,
Still
you can
got
still go.
4 more questions.
Okay.
You're doing good though. Don't get discouraged.
We're right there,
all right?
neck and neck.
Okay,
We're right there.
We are neck and neck.
But you're in the dust now, so you got to be able to
No,
pass
we're
through the dust.
even.
No, because he's
No,
got
I'm
one
one
of you.
ahead.
You're one ahead.
I'm a car length ahead.
Yeah, what's the score? What's the score, Jacob?
That's true.
Yeah.
She's racing a 4-seater. That's true.
What did your brother say?
He said she races a 4-seater and I race a 2-seater. So,
So I'm younger.
Oh, I got you. That makes total sense.
yeah,
I like that.
he's got a point.
Okay. Question number 6. What is the closest planet to the sun?
Ethan.
Oh, I don't.
Mercury.
Mercury, got it. He
Really?
freaking
I
nailed
thought it was Venus.
No, Venus is the hottest, but Mercury is the closest.
But if it
How
was
is that
closest to
possible?
the sun, it would be
because
the
Venus
hottest.
is more, the atmosphere is more dense, so it traps the heat in better.
Brainiac, dude.
Yeah, I told
Full
you
on
smarter than
Brainiac.
me.
Okay, so now you've we're coming close
what
to
I-
the end here. You got to step it up,
Yeah,
Maddie.
I've rolled. Making
I know,
my
you had
way.
such a good
I'm
start,
tipping myself
and
back
then-
over
yeah.
right now.
All right, so we have questions 7, 8, and 9 left. That question number 7. What is H2O also known as?
Ethan.
Oh, Maddie.
Yeah.
What is
okay.
it?
Water.
Okay. Yeah, he got it. I don't know if you
I
can
was
come
hoping
back
he
now.
was going to say oxygen.
Yeah, that was what, 5, 2?
So we only have 2.
Oxygen. 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen.
She's like H2O. It's known as Starbucks. Water. What's that?
Water? No, I know Starbucks.
Okay, so I don't think you can redeem, Maddie. I think you only got 2 questions
I
left.
can still
But
try.
why don't we go through it and at least get you as close as possible? Okay.
We keep going until the checkered flag.
Yeah,
keep going.
Yeah, we can't
exactly.
give up.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then the worst you can place here is second. So that's perfect.
Still podium.
This one's
Podium's
actually
podium.
this one's actually a really good one. 2 dozen kittens and 3 dozen puppies get adopted from the shelter. How many animals were adopted?
Wait, can you say the question again?
Yeah,
before
absolutely.
I think of the answer.
2 dozen kittens and 3 dozen puppies.
Can I take my calculator?
No,
No.
absolutely not. 2 dozen kittens. Do you know what a dozen is, first of all?
12?
Okay.
12, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 dozen. 2 times 12.
Ethan.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
it
Now
six?
you
And then
step-
3 dozen puppies
So how many animals?
all together.
60.
Dude, Maddie, step it up here, girl.
I need a pen. I need to do more. I can't do this in my head.
So at work, do you use your calculator or do you have it because
I have my calculator out.
honestly, when I was little, I was always good at math. But then when the iPhone got invented, my brain went to crap and my iPhone
I got a
took it.
calculator right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question of the Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader Battle Royale.
Okay.
It's not much of a battle anymore.
This one's actually pretty good. I feel like the math, okay, here's what we do. Get out your calculator, Maddie. No, Ethan, you can't do it. We're going to see if your brain is
Was this
faster than
fair?
Maddie's calculator.
All right.
Because it's not that hard. For her to type, I think your brain could figure it out faster.
I'm not a
so-
fast typer. You're
I'm
good.
not a good thinker.
All right, are you guys ready for the final question?
Yeah.
Solve the following equation. 3 plus 2 divided by 1.
5.
Dude.
5.
Ethan, 5.
Smoked you, Maddie. Smoked you. Ethan, give me a high five on that, buddy. Maddie,
game.
High five.
you did fantastic. You came out the gate hard,
Yeah,
too.
I got the whole shot, and
You
that's
got the
all
whole
that
shot award.
matters.
You got
'cause
the whole
that's
shot
what
award?
everyone sees.
Yep.
So,
No one sees what else goes through. in the desert. They just see the
That's
whole
for you.
shot.
Everyone sees the
Exactly.
whole shot and just walks away.
Yeah, they don't care about how they finish.
I
Just
switched the
beginning.
camera angle because we're totally boring compared to the peanut gallery back here. Everybody's laughing, having a good time. And then, see who just showed up? He didn't even bring you Starbucks, dude.
Where's the Starbucks?
Where's the start? Ethan
Matt-
and I wanted stuff.
Matt Lasher just showed up. So what's up, Matt? How are you? So first of all, before we end the game, thank you very much to Kaden Danbury and Sarah Danbury,
Thanks,
because he
Kaden.
probably helped Kaden a little bit. But thank you very much for submitting awesome questions, Kaden. That was a really fun game. How do you think Sierra Romo would do in a battle royale?
Oh, she'd be much worse than me. I think I want to play against Sierra because I think we
I
would
want to see
be
that. That'd be a
equally.
good watch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does that mean that you guys are going to get, like, fighting fists and stuff? Like, you guys are going to be, like,
I don't even know if we
battling hard?
can get the right answers. I think that's gonna be the hard part. It's
Just going to be cracking
getting
up
to
the whole
the
time?
end is gonna be the hard part.
So we should do it, like, in a really awkward situation, like either right before or right after a race, so it, like, totally throws you guys off, like something fun.
Oh, yeah, like they pull off the
Down.
track. And
Yeah, and then instead of a podium interview, so who is the 63rd president of the United States?
63.
Yeah. It'd be like, what? And then be like, yeah, and congratulations on your first place victory at the Mint 400. We really you did
But
a
we
good
have
job.
more important things to do than present
More
you your
impor-
trophy.
Yeah, what's the capital of California? So thank you very much, Kaden, for doing all that stuff, man. That was really cool that you guys did that. So we got a couple more comments come in. Kendall Hawk said, no, the first one. I still don't know what you're saying, Kendall. So chime in and let us know what you were talking about. John Lewis said that Andretti United team is only American because of the Andretti team. Neither of their drivers are American, but they are both European rally drivers, Timmy Hansen and Katie Munnings. Did you know that the Extreme E is a boy and a girl in all teams?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
I've-
about that. That's pretty cool.
I think that's super cool. And you know what the best thing about it is? A lot of the girls, well, Christina Gutierrez, I saw her, but most of the girls, other than Sarah and her, are unknown to a guy like me. And I thought, like, when I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, some of these guys and some of these girls, I don't know them. They're not going to do great. But they're, like, better than everybody else. They're, like, really
They're
good.
super good.
Yeah, like, they can drive the crap out of any of these vehicles. So it's really cool to see people that I guess I would consider myself, like, knowing a good amount about motorsports. But I had no idea. And, like, it's bringing all new racing drivers into my, eyes. So I think it's cool to see that. And as far as being a series that starts the first year, first of all, they're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
They are.
Lewis Hamilton invested in one of the teams. Like,
Really?
that's how awesome it is. But can you imagine what it's going to be in the second or third years?
Yeah, it's
gonna
only going to
be
get
insane.
bigger.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. So maybe if you guys play all your cards right, you guys could be sharing a car seat together.
A Starbucks car.
Starbucks car.
Dude,
Yeah,
there we
yeah.
go. We got goals, right? Okay, so thanks for saying all that stuff. We really appreciate it, John, and filling us in. Kaden Danbury says, I remember when they got stuck out there, they were traumatized. Where did you guys get stuck at?
Sierra and I have gotten stuck at a lot of places together.
Which
but
time?
Yeah, which time? It was probably Glen Helen the first time, and that was by the amphitheater.
Were you in
somewhere
that?
back
Was
there.
that
Were you in
before or
that
after?
three-wheel golf cart?
No, that was another time. there
we
was
saw that. I
no
was-
seatbelts in there.
I was
What
with
the heck is up with
Dallas,
all
and
these
there was
golf
a three-wheel
carts?
golf cart. I was like, we gotta get that. And we went on like Facebook Marketplace right after. Oh, look, it's right there.
So I had a show last week with Rockstar Energy Husqvarna and Steve Westfall, and he was talking about whether he would ride quads or three-wheelers. And he said that he had a Kawasaki three-wheeler, like we call them death machines, right? And then so I was like thinking about it, and like, oh, how much would some of these things cost? And my dad found one on OfferUp. These things are like ancient dinosaurs, right? These guys have them like fully cherry. They're like still like $3,500,
Yeah, they're not
$4,000.
cheap.
Yeah, like these things are insane. Like, so you think you could get a golf cart like for cheaper than that, or are you looking at like the bougie ones?
No, we don't need a bougie ones. We're just gonna
Yeah.
like hammer it in.
They need a beater.
Yeah, we need a beater.
Yeah.
We
Are
need
you
a
gonna,
beater.
so that means you're gonna get one? Because it looks like, I mean, like with the way that your eyes are rolling back and forth and like
Yeah,
thinking
he's
about it,
Dad,
like
Dad, say
I mean,
yes.
Dad, come on.
I can like as this conversation comes up, I can see you budgeting in your head.
Yeah, I'm like, man, we only gotta miss this race and we'll have the budget. It'll be in the 2021 budget.
Yeah, and then Casey Sims said, "What is the capital of California, Maddie?"
Hey, you don't gotta ask me hard questions like that. It's either Sacramento. Yeah, it's Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because everyone started nodding their heads after I said it.
Just stop there.
And so Kendall Hawk says, I was at the first time they went down to the Parker Trail and Ethan and Casey.
Oh yeah, we did. It was either the first or second ride. He was one of the first ones there, and yeah, it was.
So you're just like taking other kids, innocent kids,
We
down
gave a
and getting
bunch.
in
We
trouble.
were giving rides.
Just getting kids in trouble like that.
No, technically we weren't on the course. It wasn't super late at night. It wasn't.
It was only 2 a.m. It wasn't even 3 yet.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could just see like your parents are so mad, like angry right now. And John Lewis says 3 Formula One drivers that have teams: Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, and Jenson Button. So that Extreme E stuff is really, really blowing up, man. I can't tell you how excited I am to keep watching this stuff. In fact, I'm pissed that I missed it. But, okay, so before we get into your story, we're going to go to commercial break in probably 5 minutes or so. But before we get into your story, I want you to tell us a little bit about what you thought when you were first starting racing. Like when you thought about like, oh, wow, I have all these friends, like the camaraderie. Like what was the emotions that you had behind going to the track?
My first ever race was Worlds, the 2016 Worlds, and I was super nervous. I had the race day jitters. It was my first time ever racing. We showed up to signups, and Casey Sims was there. And like Casey Sims was like, I knew of him like him, Dallas, and Seth Quintero. Those were like the 3 main youth racers that I knew of at the time, and I thought of them as like superheroes.
Yeah.
And so when like I think Casey went up and talked to us, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just talked to Casey Sims.
What do I do?
Yeah, what do I do? He was on the top youth racers in the world at the time, and I was like, wow, it made me feel like he comforted me a lot. And he said, don't worry, the nervousness is always going to be there, but once you start racing, it all goes away. And I think they definitely helped a lot. And because I started, I think, a year or 2 years behind all of my buddies in racing, so they definitely helped kind of teach me what to expect.
That's pretty cool. And for the kids to help out the other kids, like especially at the beginning, like that, like kind of gets me emotional because that's exactly what off-road racing in the dirt life is all about, is making sure that you're supporting your fellow human beings, right?
Yeah, camaraderie.
Do you remember what your first race was, Maddie? Like, do you have a sentimental story like that?
So I started off desert racing. So I was the youngest one. And
Do you remember what age you were?
I was 14. I was 14 years old. And so I was racing with my dad in a little 900.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the car was definitely leaning a little bit.
For people that aren't familiar with Maddie's dad, Aaron is a little bit bigger than she is.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could see how that could happen. So he was driving or you were driving?
I was driving and he was my co-driver.
Oh, cool. So you at least got a little bit of knowledge in the co-driver seat.
Yeah, I mean, he was just telling me, okay, slow down. You can slow down now. Okay. You're going to roll it. Can you not do that?
But do you remember, like, what it was like before the race or even after the race, like with, other people that were, I don't know, helping you out and stuff?
Oh, yeah. We had my entire family there. I mean, my grandparents were there. My cousins were there. Our friends were there. So I had a very big pit crew and big support crew behind me. But I was so nervous my first race. I mean, everyone was just trying to get me to calm down. I couldn't eat in the morning. I couldn't eat the night before. I was so nervous. But then once I finished, I mean, I was so accomplished.
What about when you got in the driver's seat? Like, were you still nervous or were you just like letting the adrenaline take over?
Oh, it is like once the green flag drops, then it goes away. But everything leading up to it is.
How many Starbucks did you have that day?
None. I couldn't even drink it. I couldn't do anything.
Whoa, you must have been real nervous.
You got to be really nervous for Maddie not to drink Starbucks.
Exactly.
Big time. All right. Well, I think that's a good way to end the first segment of the show. First of all, congratulations on your huge, massive win. Are you smarter than a third grader? That was good.
Thank you.
So
you barely won. Okay.
Yeah, it was a tight race.
I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can find a company, maybe a company called PRP, to start making Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader trophies.
That would be cool.
That would be pretty sweet, right? Yeah. So we could start awarding people them. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's take a commercial break. And we're going to get back into your story, dude.
Perfect.
Figure out how you started racing. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target. We are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period. Finally, we got Lance from Solderweld in the studio. Thanks for coming down, bud. Hey, why don't we just record a commercial now?
Yeah, why not? So good to be here, man. It's been a lot. I'm trying to get down here forever, and I wanted to talk about the off-road kit.
Dude, I love those things. I got it in my pack.
Yeah, we're running hundreds of vehicles now running them, whether it's a UTV or some guy's got it in a backpack on his motocross. He's got everything he needs to make a fix right there on the fly, out on the trail, or in the desert, whatever it is.
Well, since I've already used one, I kind of know what to use it for, but explain what it does.
All right, so let's pull one out real quick. You've got your aluminum rods. Remember, they're rods, right? So, light torch, small torch. You can throw it in there or throw it on the rig with your flux. It decontaminates and cleans like let's say a radiator. You get a random rock chip runs through as you're racing. You get a rock chip in a radiator. You got to fix it right there, or you're out of the race.
You can patch it up
You can patch it up. It's all good to go.
Yep, just like welding.
Yeah. Also, as well with that, you've got a brake line fix. So with your flux, you can fix a brake line, stainless steel. And then your hot block, heat absorption putty. So it keeps you from getting burned, number one, as well as keeps the heat from traveling. So it's really nice.
I've used this not even to fix anything, so that stuff works so good, man.
Listen, it's easy. It straps in nicely so that you have everything you need in one little place, and you don't have to carry a big bag in
It's like a first aid kit for your vehicle.
Yeah, chase trucks have it as well, so that if they need to make a fix on the fly, they can get it done and get it done quick and get you back in the race.
Dude, those things are so cool. All right, so it's at Solderweld on Instagram, Facebook, and solderweld.com.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. We are back. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Like I said at the beginning of the show, this is episode 79, man. Who'd have thought we could have 79 episodes already of the Dirt Life Show? Just talking fun stuff with all kinds of fun friends and fun people. So I am so stoked that you guys are joining us tonight. I apologize that we're having issues on Facebook, but we are live on YouTube. You can always check us out on YouTube. You can listen to any of the archives on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all of the podcast networks, even Amazon. So you guys can consume all the content anywhere you can. You can always follow us on @TheDirtLifeShow on Instagram and Facebook, and YouTube as well. So you can hit us up anytime, slide into our DMs. You can also slide into Maddie's DMs anytime, offering up Starbucks gift cards,
Especially
whatever you guys got.
Have to tell them.
I mean,
hey,
yeah.
Someone knows someone at Starbucks.
Yeah, who knows somebody at Starbucks? Like, we're talking high-level people.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
need
we're
to-
not talking
like an employee.
baristas. We're
Yeah.
talking CEOs, CFOs, anything, you
The
know?
connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, those marketing
good plug.
connections. All right, so first of all, Casey Sims said, good job, Maddie. I'm assuming that was on his Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader question of what's the capital of California.
Oh, thanks, Casey.
So I guess this does redeem yourself a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From that all-out victory that Ethan just had.
No, he just won by like a question or so.
Just a couple questions.
I still think it would be awesome to have a Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader with Sierra. So, in fact, RJ Anderson and his brother Ronnie were like the best, dude. They were so good to have. Yeah, because they were like real intense.
Yeah.
Like I kind of felt like they might have wrestled at one
Oh
point.
yeah, I watched that video.
Yeah.
That video. Yeah.
And all right, so let's get into your story a little bit, Ethan. We have a lot of people that are racers that are watching the show and listening to the show, and some that are not racers, some that haven't raced yet before. So we like to usually talk with our guests and see how they got into motorsports. Maddie's was kind of natural, like she said. You know, her parents and went out to the desert and things like that. Like, is your start a similar way?
Yeah, I got my first 170. It was Christmas 2015. We got a little 170, had a cage on it and two seats in there. And we took it out to the desert, and I really enjoyed it. I had a great time driving, and my dad said, hey, there's a race in February or April, one of the two. You want to go race? I said, give me a couple days. And
Put the mic a little closer to you.
give me a couple days, and then I got back to him, and I said, sure, let's go try it out. And I was hooked. We finished the race. We didn't do too hot, but I had the bug, right? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
I get addicted to it, and
And you just wanted to
I just
have it
wanted to do more.
Yeah.
After that first race, I was, when can we go again?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think we did a couple Lucas Regional races that year. We had a good time. We met a couple more friends there. And then going into 2017, we had to commit to a series. We wanted to commit to a series, so we committed to a series called the Dirt Series. That's where...
a little bit more grassroots,
Yeah, it's
right?
a little bit more grassroots.
Well, so
normally that.
before you got like to your first race and stuff, did you have any experience riding golf carts or UTVs? Or maybe
I
dirt
rode
bikes? Yeah.
quads in the desert once or twice a year for 3 or 4 years, and then
What was
I-
your first quad ever? Like, or your first?
it was a little Kawasaki 50. I got it kindergarten.
Wait, what was yours again, Maddie?
Dad, what was mine? I don't know, something from China.
Oh, something from Pet Boys.
Something cheap.
Yeah.
Harbor Freight.
So you would have been aspiring to have a Kawasaki quad. That would have been like a.
Hey, my little thing was a beater, but hey, I mean,
Yeah.
I rolled it. It was.
Perfect.
It
Most-
didn't need to be nice.
Most of our guests on the show, it was PW50, like the little Yamaha one.
No
That was
motorcycles for me.
Shelby
I don't have the
Anderson,
balance
yeah.
for that.
So Shelby Anderson had a funny story. Like she got a PW50, and then all of a sudden, mom and grandma like locked that, like buried that thing, like never ever to be seen again because they only wanted her on 4 wheels, no dirt bikes. So you guys are lucky that you got the start and you didn't have to get a PW50 buried. Yeah. So all right, give us a little bit more info on like where your racing prowess started.
Yeah, so my dad's always been in the industry. He works for Method Race Wheels, and so there was always that tie there. Motorsports was always going to be a big part of my life. We went to Lucas races and desert races since as long as I can remember. So it's always been a big part of my life. And
Yeah, so you've always lived your dirt life.
Yeah, it's always been there. My dad raced quads when he was younger, so
Was he a good, like a quad god? Like a good
he was
racer?
pretty good. He won the Baja 1000 once.
No way.
Yeah.
That is pretty
He
quad
came
god.
second overall on quads.
That's official, dude.
Go him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Way to go, Colby, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Was your mom there supporting him at the time? Or had they not met yet?
Yeah, they were. Yeah?
That's fantastic. So you know what the most important question I'm going to ask them after the show is? Not that about how he won, but what was the best taco that they had that day? because that's the most important
They got
thing.
some good. They probably had some good tacos.
Yeah,
That day.
exactly. So, okay. Well, so you've been in the dirt basically your whole life. So then, like, it was kind of a natural progression, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was just a little bit the nerves of actually. Wow, I'm actually doing a race. But once we got over that, it was pretty. It felt pretty natural because I've been around it for a while.
Yeah, but that means that you're into it though, because
Yeah.
you do it and you're like, wow, this is pretty cool. Does that mean that at that point your dad kind of, I don't want to say pushes his like racing career to the side, but he's like, wow, my son loves this. I'm going to support him and help him out.
Yeah, I think he stopped quads long before I was born. But yeah, we definitely started. I did club soccer before that, and that kind of took a little bit of a back seat as we started to focus a little bit more on racing heading into 2017.
I'm feeling you, dude. I did the same thing. I was like, all stick and ball sports became secondary when I first started racing dirt bikes. I was like, man, this is so much more fun.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun. And it's
It
just
sounds like for Maddie it was too.
I mean, why would you go run for fun
right. Yeah, I know.
when you can sit down and have a great time?
go like 10 times as fast.
Yeah, you go way faster than I could if I'm running. And yeah,
and you, and you don't sprain ankles.
yes, and I'm better at race car driving than I am running.
Well, it sounded like you did pretty good at your soccer game, though.
Yeah, I don't do much running. I just
That's
stand
why
in the
we're
goal.
goalies.
We're goalies for a reason. We don't do the much running.
So you go to your first couple races and you're starting to like, oh, wow, I really like this. Does that, like, start off, you meeting these friends that you have now?
Yeah, we met. Yeah, all the Gonzalez's, the Sims, Danburys, the Sallees. We met the Cowens and met a bunch of other family friends that are friends of us now. And we just got so much closer, and it definitely drove us to want to be in the sport more because we knew we wanted to be around these people. They were good people, and we always had a good time when we were with them.
Yeah, totally. Well, speaking of one of those people, Kaden Danbury is on the line with us. What's up, Kaden? How are you, buddy?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing awesome, man, and I want to thank you very much for submitting those Are You Smarter Than the Third Grader questions. We had a battle royale. I don't know if you were able to see it.
Yeah, I was watching it. So that was so funny.
Are you proud of me, Karen?
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Kaden.
So, okay.
Kaden, you better be proud of me too. I got the
she
whole
was close.
shot.
She got whole shot. She got the whole shot award.
So,
The whole shot.
all right, so something I just noticed is that you guys have nicknames for each other.
Yeah, he's called Karen just because I typed it and it auto-corrected to Karen instead of Kaden. And
Oh,
it's
that's
stuck ever
right.
since.
That actually happened to me once when I was texting Kaden. I was like, oh, maybe this is how they got the nickname. So it was right.
And then I started calling him Karen, and then everyone calls him Karen now.
Yeah, I thought that Sierra came up with a name, but it was you?
Yeah, it was,
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Anytime you type Kaden in your iPhone, it always
yeah, it
corrects
always wants
to
to
Karen.
go to Karen.
Is Kaden usually spelled Caden, or is it usually
Yeah,
spelled
it's usually
Yeah.
the C.
It's like a ton of different ways.
Yeah, there's different ways. to spell
We're going to have to go ahead and submit a request to Apple for their support system, to
Yeah.
make it official that it's Kaden.
Yep.
All right, Kaden. So do you remember the first time that you met Ethan?
Yeah, I actually met him at a dirt series a while back. It was we were just sitting there with my mom. I was sitting there with my family and stuff. And we saw Ethan, we met him, and ever since we've been talking to him. I see him almost every weekend. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though, right?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Do you ever call him during the week and hang out during the week? Because you guys live.
We're always on the phone on the sim or just talking.
Oh, you guys do that iRacing stuff
Yeah, we do
too,
a lot
right?
of iRacing together. Us, the Gonzalez's, and a couple other
We
friends
have
from the
our-
racing.
we have
We're
our race
weekly
team.
calls all the time.
Hey, so I have a side question right now because I just noticed that I'm the mega dude without the Vans on right here. Kaden, are you wearing Vans right now?
I'm actually wearing my running shoes.
Oh, thank God. At least you're not wearing Vans, so I don't feel too left out then. So you guys basically became best friends after what? The first time you ever met?
Yeah, it took a couple times, and then we were also battling out on track. And we go out and congratulate each other after.
Do you remember what age you guys were at the time?
Caden
That's what I'm
was?
trying to think of right now.
What?
Caden's 13 right now. How old are you, Caden?
13.
13. So we must have been. He would have been 9, and I was 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're 14
Yeah.
now?
14.
Okay. So, man, you guys have known each other for a little while then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Do you remember when you met some of your friends, Maddie?
You know, I was just thinking about the first time I met Ethan, and it was actually at the Lake Elsinore Grand Prix. Yeah, and I remember that was my first short course race ever, And I was so scared. And Ethan's like, you'll be fine. It's not even that hard. I'm like, I'm going to get lost. I have no one telling me where to go. He's like, you're good.
There's no GPS.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
He's
What
like,
the
they
heck am I
marked the
supposed to do?
course.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I've never raced that race.
Oh, that's a fun
LA
one.
Grand Prix is really fun.
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah,
it's
I've
really
never-
cool.
I've never done it, but my grandpa does it on a dirt bike.
Dude,
That's
that's
awesome.
I think
intense.
the
That's
one
cool.
race he ever races, and he does it every year, but it got canceled this year, so he's really bummed.
How old is your grandpa?
I can't really remember off the top of my head. Right
Well,
now, but
okay, I guess
he
it doesn't
raced
really
a
matter.
ton.
I was asking that question because my reply is going to be no matter what. Now I feel like a squid because I'm not doing it, and his grandpa is. So that's pretty cool that he's doing that, Kaden. I think you need
Yeah,
to
that's
step
like-
up your game and ask your grandpa for some tips and go out there and rip.
Yeah.
I'd rather race golf carts.
Oh,
Golf carts are
golf carts
Good
are where it's
stuff.
at. It sounds like you guys are going to have a new submit a request to the works people and have like a
golf
intermission
cart,
golf cart race.
Yeah, and it'll like be between like the 2 pro races. It'll be like a little exhibition race.
Yeah, exactly.
The 3-seater
Supercar?
versus the four.
Yeah.
The 3-wheeler versus the 4-wheeler.
That would be cool to
Yeah.
watch.
That would be.
I don't even think we need our own class. We just need to enter in the 450 quad race, and we'll die.
The 450 quad.
Whoa,
No, we
dude.
race Pro Turbo. We'll race Pro Turbo.
That's intense. Hey, Kaden, so do you remember the first time that you met Ethan, like what you thought?
Oh, I thought he was a great kid, and I just loved hanging out with him. Like, even before and after the races, we always hung out and stuff. Because whenever, like, at the time I met him, we maybe had like 10 kids, like, that would race with us. Like, that's on a good day. So, like, there's always, like, it would be him. I know Dallas had a black car that we would all battle with. I think it was like at one point it was just me, Casey, Dallas, and I think someone else, and we would just battle out on the track. And I remember like whenever Ethan joined in, we were just hanging. We all had our group, and now we're here now, still hanging out since we've all started.
The main question is here, who got first most of the times?
I think probably Dallas. He get the whole shot, smoke everyone on the whole shot. He
But
blow a
the next
motor about
corner-
2 corners in, and then Casey would kind of pull ahead, and then Casey would a lot of the times win the race.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think I was racing that class. Though. I was racing the stock. They're in the
Yeah,
modified motor class.
I reached the stock. I actually have a picture. I'll try sending it to you guys. It was me in the whole shot, but it was Ethan. You could see like Dallas back in there. Like it was like a cool photo, and it's just like all of us in our 170s at Lake Elsinore, just on the rails, like just like all banging doors. It's a really cool photo.
That's super cool. Now
Yeah,
those
I
are the
have to
those
pop
are the
up.
photos like that photo and the golf cart instances are those things that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Like
Yeah.
always. Do you have photos like that, Maddie, too, with some of your friends?
Oh, yeah.
Like battling?
Oh, totally.
That's super cool. Yeah, I think that's part of the whole camaraderie thing, right? Because when I asked like who won, it's not like you guys were super competitive about it. You were proud of your friends for winning.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Because there's not a lot of sports that it's like that. Like when people don't win, they get mad usually, right? But you guys
They
are
get
all
mad
helping
and
each other.
take off. Yeah. We all, at the end of the race, no matter if we're still in our helmet or not, we all walk up to each other, give each other high fives and stuff.
Yeah, that's super cool. So if you don't get on the podium, you'll go congratulate your fellow racers on the podium?
Yeah, if we're not on the podium, we're watching them on the podium saying congrats and stuff.
So I have a funny story about that. In dirt bike racing, it's a little bit more competitive. So like you'd get mad, right, if you didn't win, or even if you get second, like it's not good enough. So it was really competitive. And then when I realized, like after I got hurt and I got invited to the X Games, I realized how important it was to always support your fellow racers. And off-roading always has that, right? Like it's almost one of the only sports or genres of racing that has that. Like even in go-karts,
Yeah.
it's not like that, right? But
Yeah.
when I did the X Games, I made it a point to myself, no matter what I was going to do, I was only going to get a certain opportunity to be able to do that. Like X Games is really cool and it's not going to last forever, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure that I make the most of it. And I went out there and I was totally sleeping on the start. Like I had a worst hole shot ever. And I started out 8th and I passed up to 2nd place. And I was like, okay, the leader's too far gone. I'm never going to catch him. So I just wanted to race my pace and go as fast as I could. And I ended up falling down and breaking my arm. But they caught it on camera. And I got up and I passed 2 dudes, and I don't know where I ended up finishing.
With a broken arm?
So I broke my arm, and I still finished the race because, again, I was like, I want to support everybody. Like, this is it. Like, I'm probably never going to do this again. I had no idea, right? And then so I finished the race with a broken arm. I went over to the podium. I took my helmet off, and I held my arm up against my chest, and I sat there, and I congratulated and watched the podium interviews and, shook hands with all my competitors. And then I went to Taco Bell, got a taco, and then I went to the hospital and got it fixed. But the point is,
nothing less.
But the point is that I didn't expect them to do that for me. I just wanted to do it for them because I had learned so much from what off-road taught us.
Yeah, everyone's very close in off-road racing.
It's really, really cool.
I do have a question about whenever you broke your arm.
Yeah.
Whenever you got that taco, did your pain go away?
That's a really good question.
Just in the moment, right? In the moment, and then once the taco's gone, nope.
I did add like 6 more pounds of hot sauce on it, and it helped. It helped, but unfortunately it was broken pretty bad, so I had to get that thing fixed up. The only thing that helped was when I got to the hospital and got some pain medicine. But it was an eye-opening experience, right? And those things are happening right before your guys' eyes right now. Like, those happen almost every weekend for you guys. Like, it's really cool to see. And I mean, like, do you guys notice it, or do you guys just have a good time?
I think it's kind of just second nature by now. It's just good sportsmanship. There's a lot of people in the sport that have really good sportsmanship, and I think we kind of just naturally do it and congratulate each other no matter how good or how bad we did. We could have gotten last place, but we'll go up and congratulate the dude that beat us, as mad as we may be that, oh, man, I really wish that was me right now. It's still just, it always feels right to go up and just congratulate them.
And the same type of thing with you, Maddie?
Yeah, it's just so natural just to go congratulate everyone after a race. I mean, in desert racing, we don't finish back-to-back like how short course is.
Right.
But, I mean, when we're at the finish line waiting to, get the speech, I mean, we're all out of the cars asking each other how the race was and congratulating each other, trying to figure out who placed
could
where.
you see through that dust, or did you hit that same rock?
Exactly.
Like that big old hole.
Yeah. Did you almost roll there too?
So those are the things that I always talk about, and I have so much of a good time talking about this stuff on the Dirt Life show because you guys may not notice it now, and your parents might even tell you all the time, and I know nobody listens to their parents, right? But they are all life lessons that you're living right now. It is so cool to hear these stories. Me being the old guy in the room, like, I know that these stories are going to be so meaningful and so good for you guys in the latter stages of your life because you're going to be able to associate with people better. You're going to be able to have better communication. Like, the whole thing changes for the rest of your life because you're learning such good traits living your dirt lives.
Yeah, I know my dad and my mom say it all the time. Even if you don't end up going pro and you don't do this for the rest of your life, you're always going to have something to take away from this, and you're always going to be a better person because the way it shaped you.
Yeah, exactly. So, Kaden, we had Casey come on earlier, and we asked him about Extreme E. Have you ever seen any of the Extreme E racing?
Yeah, I actually was looking at their Instagram today, and I was just looking at, like, all the crazy things, like the battles side by side. All the girls were really, really good at it.
Yeah, it looks pretty intense, right?
Yeah, all the girls were, like, battling it out and stuff. It was, like, really cool to see how, like, those cars, how they form and stuff. And it's, like, crazy to see. It's, like, fun. It's not, like, a good thing, but it's fun to watch.
Dude, they look like they're supercharged. They're so dang fast, man. And they have so much torque.
It's crazy hearing them, too.
Yeah, I know.
Like, they sound like RC cars because I'm like, dang.
They are
pretty. They're just big RC cars.
They are pretty badass. But so the reason that I was asking if you saw them, Kaden, was because they said that they would like, to elevate their careers and go further in off-road racing. Are you the same way?
Yeah. If I had the opportunity to do Extreme E, I would definitely do it.
Yeah.
Just because it's an experience to have, and you just got that opportunity. It's a good feeling because you got somewhere to be able to get in a car like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've been working your hardest to get where you were in that car. Because a lot of these kids that are adults that are racing now that didn't get that opportunity, it's like an achievement for you. Because knowing that, like, out of so many people, you got chosen because you're a good driver to drive one of these off-road cars.
Yeah, it would make you feel pretty special, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you're one of the
yeah.
Picked out of thousands of off-road racers, and you're one of the 20 that got picked to do this cool series.
All right, so I'm going to ask the same question to all of you guys. We'll let Kaden start first, though. So if you ever got the opportunity to do that, or actually, you know what? Let's backtrack it a little bit. What would you do right now to get that opportunity in 10 years?
As like racing wise?
Yeah, like where do you put yourself right now? Like what kind of mindset do you put yourself in? Let's let Kaden answer first, and then we'll go to you, Ethan and Maddie.
Pretty much what I would do is I do this right now. I set myself goals, and I start off with like very low goals, like achieving a podium at works, and I just like keep on like getting those goals higher. And the more I complete those goals, I know I'm starting to progress in my racing. And like, I know like if I feel that I'm doing good, like I'm like getting up there, I know I gotta keep on pushing to get more, because then I'll eventually get that opportunity. So
Yeah.
I set that goal, and I always try beating that goal.
So do you remember when we had you on as a featured guest, Kaden? One of the things that I told you was that you have a 99% success rate if you use a pencil and paper and you write down your goals. If you just think about your goal, or even if you type it on a computer, it significantly decreases that success rate. So if you sit there and write it down, you have a much better chance of success. Hey, and then so we have a question for Kaden, or a statement for Kaden. Romo Motorsports commented in and says, who gets you the best ice creams after the race, Karen?
Oh, good old Randy Romo. That's who it is. Right
Yeah, so he's jumping on.
Every race, like BITD or whatever, we're like, hey, after this race, you want to go get some ice cream? And we're always bringing it up. And, yeah, it's been more like right at the starting line, he'll be ready to go and stuff. He's like, you ready for that ice cream? I'm like, oh, yeah.
There you go, dude. Setting milestones and goals for when you get out of the car. All right, so what's your answer, Ethan, if you want to be set yourself up to be a professional driver, like let's just say Extreme E in 10 years?
Yeah, I think what Kaden said about setting the goals, it's super important, even like, especially when you're starting out. Of course, you want to go into it, yes, I want to win this race, but you have to kind of take a step back and really, like, look at it, and can I really, not everyone's going to be able to win that race. There's 20 other kids wanting to line up with the same goal. I want to win this race. So I think it's important to start goals. Start off very, very small. I want to finish this race. Then move up. I want to finish top 10, top 5. And then eventually I want that podium, then that win. And I think it's super important when you get up to like more of a top level. I don't even think I'm there yet, is setting goals that are realistic, because the worst thing is when you set a goal and you don't reach it, because it's too, like, you're overachieving at that point. You're trying to be too much to what you can get at that time. And it kind of just brings you down. Like, man, I really wanted to win that race. That was my goal for the day. And even if you get, like, second, if your goal is to get first, you really, deep inside you, like, sure, second place was great, but did I fulfill the goal that I had set for myself before the race? And that will be a no. And so I think setting realistic goals is very, very important.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So one of the things that I was going to talk about today was confidence is key no matter what you do in life, in business, everything. Not being cocky, but confidence, right? So you got to have the confidence. And when you're talking about it from a racer's mentality, like what you were just speaking of, Supercross is actually a really good example of this. When a dude gets on a roll, it's hard to stop it, right? Yeah. Because he's got that extra confidence. He's like 1% better than everybody else. And in off-road racing, it's similar to that. I mean, you have a lot more issues because the car can break and there's a lot more variables, right? But when dudes get on a roll, like look at Phil Blurt in the last couple of years in Best in the Desert.
It's hard to beat him.
Right. And even though he's not cocky, he's very confident, and he knows his equipment can do good. He knows his driving can do good. He knows his co-driver can do good. Like, so those things that, like you're talking about, make a huge difference. Do you agree, Maddie?
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, other than setting goals, I mean, I would talk to the other people who've had the opportunity, see what they did. Try to, ask some questions.
That's a really good.
I mean, yeah. Because, I mean, how did they get there? Was it just through their racing career? Was it through social media? Were they taking opportunities that we weren't taking, a whole bunch of, other things outside of just reaching your own
When
goals.
You ask other racers those questions, are they usually open, or are they usually kind of held back when they answer?
Yeah, no, most of them are, always willing to help.
That's super cool. And with you as well, Ethan?
Yeah, it's always, off-road community is very open to each other, and we're always willing to lend a hand, give a piece of advice, and That's what I really like about this sport.
What about if you have a secret line at the next Works Taft race? Are you gonna let Kaden
We
know?
keep those and we tell them after the race.
Yeah, Kaden, did you take that secret line that I was taking the whole moto?
You know that line where I made up 20 seconds in that one corner? Oh, shoot. I forgot to tell you about it. Sorry about that.
Let's go get ice cream.
Yeah, hold on. Let's get ice cream. Forget about it.
That's what's cool about practice. I always wait for Ethan to get ahead of me so I go.
There's a reason I try to go like the very last person.
The secrets come out.
We're always waiting, and then he's like looking at me, telling me to go. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like, hey, just go. I'm going to go behind you.
Get out of here, fool.
Get out of here. Let me run my race.
and then I'll go, and I'll pull to the side, and then he passes me. I'm like, all right, gotta go.
Hey, Kaden, so we're going to let you go, but before we let you go, do you have any funny stories other than the golf cart ones that we talked about on Thursday and that Casey brought up?
Funny stories.
Like, how about a story that wasn't at the track? Like maybe it was you guys doing something around Southern California or on a trip or something.
One of my favorite things that we've done was we pre-ran the U2 World Championship. That was a lot of fun. We did the short course thing.
What
And
cars did you do it in? Golf carts?
No, I wish.
No, we did the golf carts would have been too fast. We did
Had
it
too
in a
much
course.
travel for the track.
Too much travel. We didn't want to put the trophy trucks on there, so.
Dude, I pre-ran that course in a Razor 800 with my dad. It was like torture.
Oh, yeah, that
my
track was so
God.
narrow. The big desert loop was pretty narrow.
Woo-wee. Yeah, that was harder than the race.
Yeah.
So what? Sorry to interrupt you, Kaden. What was your story then at the UTV Worlds?
It was fun because we were setting ourselves like mental markers. We would get like duct tape and then put it on a bush, and we know like there's a corner ahead because the dust was insane there. Like like with how many cars on how small of a track, it's like kind of confusing why they did so many cars in that small of a track. So we set ourselves mental markers, and we all had the same markers. And with those markers, we ended up doing really good. So that's one of my favorite memories because we were out there with the Pro XP, and we kept on running laps and laps and laps. And at first we couldn't find the track at all, but then we like did our math and stuff, and we figured out where the track was, and we kept on running it and running it and running, and that really gave us an advantage in the race.
That does sound like a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ethan ended up winning the 570 race. I got third in the 570 race. Dallas won the Youth 1000 race, and then I got third in the Youth 1000 race.
Dude, here, I'm going to give Ethan a high five and pretend like I'll give you an air high five right now, Kaden. That's awesome.
Yeah, and we just felt really accomplished of those mental markers that we took and the time and dedication we took into it. So that was like
honestly, I'm kind of pissed that you guys didn't help me get those mental markers because I got so lost. I was lost for 10 minutes.
I got lost. I did the big desert race, and I got lost, and probably could have done a little bit better if we hadn't got lost.
Yeah, I didn't do the desert loop, so I wasn't sure how it was. I heard it was really rough, but
yeah. Well, did you do that race, Maddie?
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
Not this year. I didn't do UTV Worlds this year.
Okay, so mental note: if we do it again this year, we got to hang out with these kids.
Yeah, we're gonna
and
be
do
in
mental
the.
notes.
We're gonna bring a 4-seater, and we're gonna be in the back.
Oh yeah. And you don't want to be in the back. You can't see anything.
Advantage George and Maddie this year.
Yeah.
All right. Dude,
we had extra
Glad
horsepower.
you guys.
We all need to get together and set mental notes, and let's try getting all of us to the podium.
Forget the mental notes. I had a good time the night before. We were like went to McDonald's at like 11 o'clock at night. We were in the pool all night, riding pit bikes up and down the street.
Dude, you guys like to party.
That was a good time.
That does sound like a fantastic time.
And
Matt's back there smiling too.
Yeah, I was up to like 3 a.m. after.
Yeah, we were watching movies, going to bed. The worst was Casey. We all stayed up till like 2 in the morning. Casey had to leave at 6.
Oh, to go race?
No, to go do the pre-run. They wanted to pre-run a little bit earlier, so he got like 0 sleep that night.
That sounds super cool, though. That means that you guys supported each other the whole way through, right?
Yeah, we were there for each other, helping each other out, especially when we got lost on the pre-run. Hey, we should have gone right there. No, we should have gone left.
Dude, it makes it so much better when you get lost pre-running instead of lost in the race.
Yeah.
I'd much rather get lost 10 times during pre-running than I would during the race.
We ended up in the middle of a wash.
In a golf cart?
No, we've gotten stuck in the middle of a wash in a golf cart, too. But not that time.
I feel so bad for Sarah's golf cart.
I know, that poor thing.
That thing's still running strong. Like, we put that thing through so much, and it still runs brand new. It just looks a little beat up.
Oh, so Maddie needs a Starbucks sponsor, and you need an Easy Go sponsor?
Yes.
Yep.
Here we go. All right, so we've got our goals. Are you just talking about goals, right? So now you've got your short-term milestone goals, getting a golf cart sponsor, then a Starbucks sponsor, and then a Starbucks Extreme E sponsor. Man,
I'd say those are good goals.
It's already
Those are
planned
pretty good
out.
goals.
They're good
Yeah.
goals.
Ethan.
They're all achievable.
Ethan.
Achievable.
Yeah, Kaden, what's up?
What do you think of a golf cart Polaris Racer team? Big old
That
golf
sounds
cart.
good to
There
me.
you go.
And they make a full class for it at Works or like BITD, and we run like the 2-mile loop that they have for the 170s at Best in the Desert, and we run it in the
Dang,
golf
boys.
carts. We run
Really
like
need to
20-minute
do-
lap times.
You guys are going to have to start planning your execution for this
should.
because I don't know if Brett Carpenter's going to go for it.
I don't know if Brett's gonna hop on board with that one.
He might opt for like more of a Polaris branded thing.
Or we have Polaris make a golf cart.
A 570
There we
motor
go.
in the golf cart.
570 motor in a golf cart.
Hey, so both of you guys are going to go to Works Taft this coming weekend, huh?
Yeah, this weekend.
Isn't that the one with the massive step up
The
jump?
step up, yeah.
Are you guys both in cars that can clear that?
Yeah, we
Oh,
cleared
yeah.
it last year. I cleared it last year.
Did you? How is that jump?
Scary.
It looks so sick though.
It's honestly not too bad. It's just you're up in the air for a little bit while.
This is gonna be the first year I'm able to clear it because I was in the 570 and I barely made it to the top. So this year I'm gonna be able to clear it.
And our
Dang.
5's little 70s.
Is
we're
it? Are
cutting
you
up.
just wooded the whole time to get over it?
Yeah, you have to be.
Really?
You can't lift. It's like a probably
It's a flat corner.
couple hundred yards like before it.
Yeah.
And you got to use every single ounce you can, every single throttle.
How long is the
Hey,
jump?
it's-
Do you know?
How big
I think
is
someone
it?
said it's just, I don't know. I think someone said it's 100 feet.
Have you
something
seen
like
it, Maddie?
No.
that. No, it's
massive.
we got to show you some pictures.
Yeah, I
It's
need
a
to see
good- it's a good
pictures of
step.
this.
It's a
It's
good,
a flat
decent size.
corner. It's a flat corner over a roller hill thing. And
But that little roller gives you speed to start going down,
Yeah.
like for the
Yeah.
run. Yeah.
that's about our only piece of help on that.
Yeah, that's about it.
So you guys got to send me like some videos or something because I'm going to be missing the Works Taft race because I'm going to go out to the Gas Short Course race and cover that
yeah,
this
that'll be
weekend.
cool.
So that'll be pretty fun. But I still want to see how you guys do this weekend. So all right. So speaking of pictures, I don't know if you can see it, Kaden, if you're still watching Facebook, but there's a picture that we're going to pull up on screen right now that I want to have Ethan give us an explanation for. It looks like it's,
I got a good explanation.
it looks
for
like
this
it's popping up in a Razor 570, like real big. Like just straight up in the air.
That
So-
picture's that's a good picture right there. So it's 2019 UTV World Championships. It was the last year that it's been in Laughlin, and I got the whole shot off the first line of the 570s from all the way outside, and then we come in. It was about 5 corners in, and we come in this section, and the whoops didn't look bad. But I didn't know that I was dug
death
2
jitters.
foot deep,
Yeah.
like 2 feet deep. So we come into it fully pinned, thinking I could just blitz some whoops at Glen Helen is what they kind of looked like from my view. Boom, and it launched us. It was gnarly.
So you know what this picture reminds me of is when somebody's golfing and all they get is dirt, they just
Oh, yeah,
go
and they hit
underneath the
the
ball
before.
and it's just dirt, and the ball just falls back down on the ground right in front of them. That's what it looks like because you're just skid plate all just straight to the ground.
Oh yeah, it was boom. All I remember is I couldn't see a thing because my helmet, and I have it super tight, bounced down and straight back up, and I couldn't see where I was going, so I just kept it pinned. And
Did it knock you silly or were you good?
No, I was good.
Right after that race.
Yeah, there were 4 people behind me. You can kind of see them in the background of the picture there. And a couple of them ended up flipping. It was a horrible section.
Was that on the infield?
It was infield.
Yeah.
I remember seeing dudes just getting all wacky crazy in
Yeah,
there.
it was bad.
It was hilarious
It
watching
It was fun
the
to
kids
watch,
race.
just
Oh
not
my
being
God.
in the car. Kind
Look at her laughing at you getting all hurt.
Because we were all sitting there watching it, and just watching the kids go bing, 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 bing. I was like, ooh.
So you saved it.
Yeah, I saved it. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Well, it's kind of cool because we perfectly downsided in another whoop, and we hit another jump.
Oh, so jumping through
Yeah,
the
I
whoops.
was jumping through the whoops like it was Supercross.
Yeah, there you go.
I just didn't take it that
Supercross
fast
in a
the next lap.
570. Who knows?
They changed the course right after our race just because it was so bad for us.
I know they threw the 570s out there like, hey, let's go let the cars that have the least suspension and the least power out of all the
I
big
remember
cars hit
walking
the
over
jump.
there going, God, these kids are going to kill themselves. This is insane.
And they didn't even let up.
No,
they
I
just
didn't let
kept
up.
on going.
I had the whole shot. I was like, oh, let's go. Why are we no checking up now?
I remember one girl, like, she was just fully wooded the whole time, just bouncing through the whole thing, and she started, like, skimming over the top of them, like she was getting it, and then all of a sudden her front dived down, and she just tipped over. I was like, man, she was doing so good. So, well, that's a pretty crazy story. Have you had any other crazy stories, like, that you have gotten any wrecks or, like, battled with Kaden?
No. Battling with Kaden.
Do you remember
There was
any
one race,
Kaden?
I can't remember what track it was, but we were like
GB
neck and neck on time. Yeah, the GBC series. It was pretty cool. Poor Kaden, he lost his brakes in practice, and we were both in XP 1000s. He lost his brakes, and it was bad for him. It was because we were on Glen Helen, so it's high speeds.
Yeah.
He would come in the corner with no brakes. I felt so bad for him.
I lost my brakes and I ended up hitting someone, and my steering wheel turned and I sprained my wrist really bad.
Oh, crap.
My wrist got stuck inside the steering wheel because I had no brakes and I was just sliding, and the car was just going really slow and I couldn't do anything about it, and my wrist just got caught, and it was like the worst pain ever.
He was still able to drive iRacing that night, though, so we were good.
Yeah.
He's able to hop on the sim.
So way to over-exaggerate, Kaden.
Yeah, come on, Kaden. It wasn't that bad.
He's like, I lost my arm.
Hey, all right, so if you were talking about sims and stuff like that, everybody here already knows that Maddie is the best driver when it comes to driving a vehicle on the streets. She's a fantastic driver.
Oh,
totally good. She can back up awesome. Like, everything
I can parallel just
everything is
fine.
fantastic.
Is that true? Is that true, you guys?
No.
No? Okay,
I'm
I
the
didn't
worst
think so
driver
either.
on
I may
the
or may,
road.
I may or may
I was
not
a
be
little
telling us.
confused at
Yeah.
first.
So, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that Maddie's a fantastic driver on the road.
Awesome.
But my question is, have you, Ethan or Kaden, ever got to drive anything other than a golf cart or a razor? I mean, and not quads and stuff. Like,
I have to do go-karts. Go-karts. Shifter carts.
Yeah.
so does that mean you guys are looking forward to getting your driver's license and having Maddie teach you how to drive?
I'll teach. Yeah, I'll host a
gosh.
class on how
Oh,
to parallel
sure.
park, how to back
How
into
to parallel
spots.
park without hitting any cars.
I think the
I
golf
didn't say
cart
that.
taught me.
Yeah.
I think the golf cart taught me good enough.
Yeah, the golf cart's fine. We've driven it on the road a couple times. We'll be fine.
But are you guys really, are you seriously looking forward to getting, like, your
Yeah.
driver's license and
I
stuff?
can't wait. I'm
definitely
a year away from my permit.
You
So
stoked?
I'm excited. Count down the days.
Are you already asking mom and dad for a car?
No.
Oh, he thinks
That's
he's getting
that's
one?
Jacob. He says, so we asked him, hey, Jacob, what do you think your first car is going to be? Oh, I'm taking mom's car.
Oh, here we go. So what kind of car would you like to get, Ethan? And then Kaden can answer.
Anything that I can drive.
Doesn't matter?
Anything. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Just to get out?
Yeah, I'll be happy just to be driving something.
Where's the first place you're going to go? Please don't tell me Starbucks.
No.
Chick-fil-A?
No. I'll probably drive it to the track.
Dude, there you
Go
go,
to the
right?
track.
To see all your friends.
Yep.
Honestly, I might go to Warfighter Mid.
Oh, yeah, we can
There
drive
you
some
go.
Warfighter made.
Dude, that's a pretty good answer right there. What if you could have any truck right now or car, what would you take, Ethan? And then Kaden can answer.
I don't know. Sometimes I want a truck because I'm like, man, I can get to the races on my own, or I can go to the track whenever I want, so I can tow it myself. And other times I want a car because I'm like, oh man, some of these cars look pretty cool and they're pretty fast. I'm not really sure what the dream car would be.
Have you ever thought about a huge white Mercedes van?
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like a big old Sprinter.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Well, what about those the new Dodge minivans with the big old
Oh,
motor?
the Hellcat motor in it.
Wait,
Have you
what?
heard? They're making a Dodge minivan with the Hellcat motor in it.
Oh my God, Rob's going to be wanting one of those
I
at
know, right?
Warfighter made so bad.
Yeah, Jacob
Yeah,
wants one. That's what Jacob says he wants.
Does he really?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
his style,
we
dude.
Yeah.
Me and your brother just became best friends.
We might have a Razor on top of one of those pulling up to the races, but
Holy
You know?
smokes,
What we need to do is we need to modify the back end to where it's only like it doesn't fit as many people, but we can fit a razor on the back. And we
That'd
make
be
like the back a
intense.
it's
flatbed.
a flatbed.
We can make the back a flatbed. We like cut it off halfway and we make it a flatbed.
Maddie, how like confident would you feel driving this jalopy that they're talking about?
Oh, not confident at all. I'll stick to my little RAV4 and I'll follow them.
You're good to go. All right, so but truth, Kaden, what car would you get or what truck would you get right now if you could have one?
If I were to have my dream car, like my dream car of dream cars would be probably a Ford F-350.
Ooh, that's a good one. All
On
right.
a Raptor? Why not a Raptor?
You
I'm
can't
surprised
tow with
at
the
that.
Raptor though. How are you supposed to?
But it looks pretty.
It does look pretty.
They do look
Yeah.
cool.
With some nice Walker Evans rims, it'll be perfect.
Oh, there you
Ooh,
go.
little
Dude,
sponsor plug. I see
Dude.
that, Kaden.
You guys are sponsor plugging all over the place, right?
We actually have a Ford F-350 with Walker rims, and it's like my favorite thing ever.
There you go.
Oh, he's trying to get Dad's truck.
Yep.
Sucking up a little bit. All right, hey, so let's get back to
Mom's truck.
a little bit more of a serious question that I wanted to ask you guys, and I'd like Maddie to answer this question first. What is one thing that makes a good racer?
I think the sportsmanship. Definitely, because you could be a great driver and have terrible sportsmanship, and no one will support you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But having sportsmanship, I think that is the number one.
Do you think there's any argument points against that? Like if you're how they say nice guys always get walked on? Like, do you think that there's stuff like that can happen? Like, do you have to change your attitude in certain situations, or do you just?
You could have good sportsmanship and still treat racing like a business and still be good and whatnot. Yeah, nice guys do get walked on, but
But
you're
I feel
a good
like
racer and you have good sportsmanship and you're positive all the time. I think that'll take you.
I love
far.
that answer because the proof is in the pudding with that, right? Because you're producing and you're acknowledging that you're producing, not anything else, and you're being a good person.
Yeah, just being cocky and if you're a great driver.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are great drivers, but they won't ever have a
Ain't
career
nobody trying to
because
talk
of
to that cocky person.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Kaden?
I'm thinking, or what I think, and I put in my mind a lot, is positivity and good sportsmanship will get you far. Positivity, like not being negative, like, oh, I'm not going to win this race, or like, I have no chance of these guys. Like, I had no chance in my 250 car. I was a way less of a motor, and I just had to keep myself positive and wait till the end to see what shakes down. And positivity really got me somewhere. And sportsmanship and just putting myself out there to people really got me to where I am right now.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. Is yours answer similar?
Yeah,
Ethan?
sportsmanship, it'll take you, but there's also a limit. Like, so you want to be a good person, you want to be able to like go up and like we talked about earlier on the podium, congratulate them, give them knuckles before the race, tell them good luck. If someone's pulled over, you might want to like pull over and just make sure check they're okay, and as long as they got things handled, take off then. But I think the limit's like you don't pull over to let someone by you that's in your class.
Don't let people walk all over you.
You want to be nice, but don't be that nice.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. So Caitlin Smith commented in and said, who's better at racing, Kaden or Maddie?
At racing. Oh, we've never raced against each other.
They've never raced against.
We've never. Yeah, that's two different.
We got to get golf carts.
We need to make a
and we got to
video
race.
this year.
Yeah. No, let's all go in those 170s and do
the
a little
170s.
170 race.
Dude, this sounds intense.
Hey, Maddie, you want
it's gonna be a good battle. I'd like to watch that.
I'm down. Kaden. Let's do this.
Caden asked if you want to do RS1. Did you hear him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tell him to give
We
me
get
an
two
RS1
bone
and I'll
stock
go.
RS1s.
I'm down to do a video.
Dude, you already have an RS1 that's pretty dialed. Just go pick up.
Oh, I'll go take Casey's. You don't need it, right?
Go pick up the one that I
there you
did at Craig Scanlon's house. That thing's pretty dialed.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, go borrow his.
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty cool. Oh my God, could you imagine who loses? Oh my gosh.
Oh, you'd never hear the end of it.
I know. We would never.
You'll forever be the guy or the person that's known, oh, you lost to Maddie or you lost to Kaden.
Did you hear how he said the guy that lost? You hear that, Kaden?
Oh, here we go.
I can't let a girl beat me.
Bet.
There you go. Hey, so is your brother going to start racing too?
I don't know. Jacob, are you going to start racing someday?
Does he want to? Oh, he's
Maybe.
like totally doesn't
Maybe.
care.
Some
right?
days he does and some days it's no.
So do you teach Jacob how to do the sim racing?
Yeah, we do a lot of sim racing together.
That's pretty cool. How
Are
does
you good
that, does that help you? Do you do sim stuff, Maddie?
I tried. I've done it like once or twice, but I just can't get in like the hang of it.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
I think like as improving your skill, it doesn't really help that much, but just keeping like your skills sharp. It's pretty much what all it is just
Yeah.
I'm not able to be in a car every weekend or every day, but I can hop on my simulator for an hour every night and just keep my skills sharp.
Yeah, just keep going a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing you do, Kaden?
Yeah, me and Ethan, we like work together. We've made setups before because you can make setups. And you just work together on lines and just finding different ways to get faster together. And doing it alone, you're really not going to improve. But doing it with someone, you're both going to find something that's faster, and you're going to improve faster and be up with the top dogs. Like a lot of these pros for sims right now started way before us, and we're learning from them like how to improve.
Your
And,
guys'
a lot
brains
of
are
those
like
guys are nice,
sponges,
They
huh?
help you
Yeah.
out.
That's pretty rad, man, that you guys do that. I could never,
Yeah.
I could never do it. It was so hard for me. Like, I just couldn't figure it out.
It takes a little while to
It
get
takes
used to.
forever.
Yeah, I did it with Ethan Ebert. He showed me
yeah.
how to do it at his house, and he was like so fast.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, he's one of the top guys in the off-road, the Pro 4 series.
Yeah, so I went over to his house, and he's like, "Here, do it like this," and I'm like, "Whoa, you look pretty good." And then like I did it, and I got like 3 corners good at Wild Horse, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty easy." And then all of a sudden, I just like messed up, and my brain went to complete mush, and I was like, "Oh, I can't do it."
At first, I didn't have pedals, so I had to use my paddle shifters as my gas and brake.
Oh,
and then
dang!
I had to use my thumb or the buttons on the steering wheel as gas and brake and shifting.
Yeah,
So it was
that's
way
some good
different.
story.
Way to adapt.
Yeah.
You have
I
some
have
good
good
stories.
So Kaden, his steering wheel was broke. So he was playing on like an Xbox controller, and I had broken my collarbone. So I was driving with one hand and downshifting with the clutch pedal, and we had some really good battles.
Yeah,
Were you
it
guys
was so-
super squirrely?
Oh no, we were actually doing pretty good.
Oh.
We weren't too
I
bad.
ran one of my best lap times on
Yeah,
control.
same here. I did one of my best lap times with one hand.
Way to adapt, dude.
Yeah.
And you guys could probably have smoked Maddie and I with that.
I can't even make the first turn without crashing.
So that's actually one of the questions that I was going to ask. So you've had an injury, obviously. Have you broken any bones other than your collarbone?
No, just the collarbone.
How'd you do that?
Mountain bike king and Big Bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you do, dude?
First trail of the day, and I hit
With
a tree.
Kaden?
With Kaden. The part that really made me mad is I was like 200 yards from the finish. So I was literally 3 or 4 corners away, and the trail was over. And I hit a tree.
How the heck did you do that, dude?
I came around a corner, and like it just jumped out at me. It attacked me.
I wish people that are listening to it on
Jump
iTunes
out
or
and
something.
bit me.
Yeah,
you
it jumped
should
out and bit me.
You should definitely go back and check out the video version of it and watch Maddie's face while she's listening to this story because it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I actually put a sign there and it said "Rip Ethan." And
Yeah,
yeah, I would get all these DMs. Did Ethan die?
Really?
I put RIP Ethan and I stapled it on the tree. The next
That's
day.
hilarious.
I told them because they went back
What a
like a month
friend.
later, and I said, "Hey, you guys, on the same tree, you got to put like a sign that says R.I.P. Ethan's arm." And they said, "Oh, we can't fit arm," so they just put R.I.P. Ethan. I'm like, "You guys made it look like I died. I'm still alive."
I got
There's
so many
flowers and
DMs
teddy
out
bears there.
I know. They put a little cross and flowers and teddy bears.
man.
Wreaths.
Pictures of you.
Yeah.
Everybody sees you at the races giving you hugs.
I know. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. You survived.
Thank
and
goodness.
someone took it down.
Oh, who took it down? That person.
I really am thankful that they took it down.
Yeah, so am I.
So, all right, Kaden. So, one thing that I wanted to ask before we let you go is, how crucial is it to have a supportive family when you're trying to reach your goals as a racer? And I want to ask you, and obviously Ethan and Maddie, the same question. So, you go first, bud.
So it's like helps me out so much because my mom takes me to go training and all these different places just for me to improve. She spends all this money, and I tell myself every time I cannot waste her money on not improving. So I always try my hardest to improve. She always makes me improve, and if I didn't have her help to this day, she still helps me. If I didn't have her, I would not be able to be where I am right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be really hard to be in the top box, and having her and her taking me training and taking me other places to be a good person, wouldn't be close to where I am right now.
So I know you pretty good. I've known you for a few years. I don't know Ethan and Maddie quite as well as I do you, but one thing that I've noticed in the past probably 6 months or so is that you're actually starting to step up and take a little bit more of the reins yourself, and you're doing a fantastic job, man. So keep it going.
Thank you.
So, all right. Well, since you answered that question, we're going to let you go, and we're going to have you listen in and listen to Ethan and Maddie's answers. All right, bud?
All right, thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Kaden.
Bye, Kaden.
Bye.
What about you? You guys think the same as having
yeah.
support mechanisms?
Parents are a huge part, and just family in general, they're a huge part. They're there to support you. They'll be there in the pits, and without my parents, I wouldn't even be in this sport. I wouldn't have been introduced to motorsports, and I can't do it without them. They put so much time and money into my program, and I'll forever be thankful for the opportunities they've given me. And then, especially my dad, my mom, she's there cooking, and she'll 2 days before, so she'll probably start tonight actually. For the race this weekend, she'll start prepping the RV.
What do you think she's going to cook, dude?
A lot of chicken and rice. Super simple race day.
That's race day food, though.
Race day food. I can't have anything more than that. It just upsets my stomach and get too nervous. And then my dad, he's down in the shop every night for countless hours.
And your brother from making you grind.
Yeah, he keeps me positive.
Yeah. And Maddie, the same kind of goes for you as well?
Oh, yes. Without my family there, I mean, obviously I wouldn't be where I am today. I mean, I can't wait. Like, whenever we pull into a pit, like, I just can't wait to look at them, and then I have that validation, and I know they're proud of me, and then I just keep on going.
Exactly.
Yeah, it gets you through the race for sure.
So the one thing that I wanted to, like, go on beyond that is because you guys are learning at a young age all these values and all of these certain ways to act and present yourself and all the good things to make a good human being, right? How does that change as you look at it from a business perspective or for wanting to get sponsored by Starbucks? If you're seriously going for something like that, do you understand the things that are going on around you and how much that benefits in sponsor searches?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, constantly meeting new people. I mean, always keeping a good attitude and, you know, just putting yourself out there. I mean, when I first saw Brett, I was like, oh, hello, Brett. You know, when I first saw Rob, you know,
you're
when
talking
we met
about Brett
Rob,
Carpenter from Polaris, right?
Yeah, right. He was a great person. He actually came up to me first and said hi.
Right on.
But yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different companies that you just got to go over there and introduce yourself. And I mean, you don't have to ask for a sponsorship right away. Just introduce yourself and, you know, say, this is who I am and I race, and then take it from there. You don't have to get a sponsorship right away.
Right. I think it's super important the first time you meet them, you want to give them a good impression because sure, you may not get sponsored that day, but if you walk up to them, you shake their hand, you give them a good handshake, you look them in the eyes and you talk to them, like you just give them a nice conversation and like you just be a good person, they'll always remember you for that. And you may not get sponsored, you may never not get sponsored by them ever, but it's just they're always there. They'll always remember, oh, yeah, I remember you. You were that person that was super nice to me 5 years ago at this race. And you'll always have that memory. And they'll always be there to support you.
100%. And so the reason I ask those questions is because you're learning all these things with your family and the support mechanisms and things like that, right? Well, when you think about a sponsor, you don't have to think about what they can give to you. They can give tires. They can give wheels, all of these different things, right? But every single one of those people that you talk to has a family, has a parent, has a child, all of these different things, right? So maybe instead of a sponsor giving you something, the way to approach Starbucks is when you figure out the CEO's name, is send them a bag of chips. Send them
what can I give you?
Yeah.
Kind of a deal.
What can we do for you?
Send them a cheese and salami basket. You know what I mean? Like, because those things will last forever. Even if you don't get the sponsorship like you mentioned, right? Because all of those people, just because their job doesn't mean that they're insensitive or they don't have a family, right? So it makes a big difference, and I'm glad that you guys understand that at such a young age because it means that when you do have that opportunity to drive Extreme E in 10 years, that you'll have a really successful career.
Well, you got to think, too, like, who do they want representing their brand? I mean, Ethan with his new Monster sponsorship is awesome.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, which is huge. Nice job.
Thank you.
I mean, but you got to think he holds himself to very high standards. You never hear one thing bad about him. It's always positive and good, and that's who they want representing their brand.
Dude, 100%. Well, I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. We got to, like, the 4 Parts store closes at 6, so we're already an hour behind their closing. So they've been awesome to us supporting the show. Thank you very much to everybody over here, and Corey, Simone, for setting this stuff up. So we're going to kind of wind things down now. So I would like to hear what your plans are for 2021.
2021, we're going to be finishing out the rest of the work season, and then we do a smaller desert series called District 38, and we're starting to get our feet wet in the desert racing, and hopefully we'll start to progress more to that because that's been my goal for a while, and my dad's goal is get to desert racing because short court's always fun, but I feel like desert racing you'll find out who the best drivers really are.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the desert, but one thing that I have to say, if you're talking about sponsorships, you never get to see the desert racers. Yeah. So the media is really, really horrible for desert racing. I always like to do the desert stuff because it's so much more adventurous and there's so many more things that can happen, right? But when you look at it at the end of the day, you can't see you. You can only see you for 3 seconds. So if you do get the Extreme E deal, you can see you the whole time because they have fantastic coverage, right?
They have
helicopters following you and the in-car.
So you got to get back to your sponsors, right?
Yep.
That's awesome that you have those plans for 2021. So I really appreciate you guys coming in. Are you ready for? Have you ever seen the show before? Have you ever watched it?
No, I've watched just bits and clips.
All right. So at the end of every show, we have a rapid fire Q&A.
Okay.
Maddie's already done this, and it's not like the third grader ones, but we're gonna
It's
let
much easier.
That's easier. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
we're
Less
gonna
stress.
we're gonna let Maddie go and ask the first question, and then I'm gonna ask the second question. So let's do the rapid fire Q&A. Maddie, what's the? Actually, I'll ask the first question. Dunes or the river?
Dunes.
You're going dunes?
Yeah, I'm not a water guy.
Not a big water guy. All right, Maddie.
Men sisters, same here. 3-wheeler or a quad?
Quad. I
Go
can't. I
quad.
don't have the balance for 3-wheeler.
No?
No.
I feel like you could just be like that dude that's hanging off the side, getting
nope.
all nasty.
I'll be the dude that wrecks it trying to do that.
Actually, you're already the dude that hangs off the side in the golf cart. So.
Yeah, that's all. I got that covered on 4 wheels.
Do you watch Supercross at all?
Yes.
All right. So Cincerello or Osborne?
I don't know. Cincerello, I really like him, but it's hard to get Osborne because you just had that outdoor championship.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
So who's your favorite rider?
Out of all the riders?
Yeah, if you're just picking somebody to win on Saturday.
I don't know. I just like Tomac. He's got raw speed.
All out raw
All
speed.
out raw speed.
Who's your favorite rider, Maddie? Do you even watch Supercross?
I don't watch Supercross all that much. It used to be Ryan Dungey, though. That used to be
That guy
my
was
man.
good. He was
You're a
Yeah.
Dungey fan?
precision.
Yeah, then he left, so. It's fine. I'm not crying.
You're
anymore.
retired.
Okay, continue.
What's the next question?
Little Smokies or pizza rolls?
What's Little Smokies?
They're those, yeah. Like,
They're-
explain it, please, because your mom, oh my God. Seriously. I still, like, they weren't
like-
Little Smokies, but they were like those sausages or meatballs that she
Yeah,
made.
they're like little tiny sausages.
Well, then I'll probably have to go with,
With
the pizza
barbecue.
sliders because I've never had Little
We
Smokies.
say this every time somebody answers that, like, it just burns the crap out of the top of your mouth, though, dude.
It does. It
There's
does.
no way around it.
You got to let it cool, but
You
then once
do.
you let it cool, it's too cold and doesn't taste
Yeah, and
as
it's all
good.
crusty. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, but they're only closed on the edges, so you just gotta kind of like pop it
Yeah,
up
you
a
gotta
little
pinch
bit.
it a little
Yeah, you
bit.
gotta pinch it a little
Have
bit.
you ever done
and
the
you let
breathe
hot
through
air
and all the
out.
steam comes out? Like,
No,
you
I
breathe
haven't done that before.
All right, so coffee or iced tea?
Neither. I don't really drink.
Neither. That wasn't an answer. Coffee
Okay,
or tea?
iced tea then.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, sponsor, you're supposed to say Monster.
Monster, yeah.
Yeah.
Monster Energy.
100%. All right.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, you missed the next one. Favorite soda?
Oh.
Probably cherry Pepsi.
Dang, you're going. I've never heard that one. That one's awesome, though.
Cherry Pepsi?
Yeah.
I keep telling people everybody keeps forgetting Cactus Cooler. Nobody.
Cactus Cooler is good. I used
Yeah.
to love that one.
Everybody's
when I
like
was a kid.
throwing Cactus Cooler to the side like it's the ugly friend or something. Like,
Cactus
come on,
Cooler.
man. Cactus Cooler is the best. Okay, go ahead, Maddie.
Okay, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
That's intense.
That's intense.
That's
I
a
don't
pretty
know.
serious question. What would your superpower be, Maddie?
Invisible. You know how many places you could get in for free?
That's true. Invisible.
I could
get
save so
into
much money.
movie theaters. Think how easy it'd be to sneak into like a movie theater.
Have you
I
ever
could
seen
make
that
my own
movie
Starbucks.
Jumper?
Right? What?
Have you ever seen that movie Jumper where he
No.
can like teleport to wherever he wants? Yeah, that's like kind of the same thing, but it's not invisible. You can just go wherever you want. So like right now after this, you could just go like to Italy if you wanted.
That's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
But then you can't get things for free in Italy.
That's
you still have
true.
to spend money. So
you still have to like walk.
Yeah, but you can jump from like one room to the next, so you don't have to be invisible. You could just pop into like wherever you want.
pop into the
But don't be
kitchen,
a-
grab a food,
Yeah,
pop back into
okay.
my hotel room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're done.
All right.
Okay.
But what is your superpower?
Probably invisibility then. I
You're
could
going
like
invisible?
movie theaters. I could go like wherever I
Disneyland?
want. Disneyland for free.
I mean, that is a good superpower.
Right?
Uggs or Crocs?
I don't wear probably Uggs just because I wear them like the winter when it's super super cold, which
Dude.
never happens in California.
Yeah, exactly.
2 days out of the year.
Yeah, the one day out of the year it's cold.
Hey, I thought you were looking for teal Uggs.
they make them?
If there is, I'll take them.
I saw some Uggs that were so bedazzled. Was it yesterday or today?
I have bedazzled boot Uggs. I
These
raced
things
with
were-
them in Pahrump.
You're allowed to race with those?
Probably not.
Is that
but
legal?
They
I don't know.
don't know until
I didn't
now.
hear
It's
anybody
fine.
They don't
think
have
about
to know.
this.
Yeah,
I
can
did
we
not
edit
hear.
this part
Racing
out?
with Uggs? I never heard of that. I don't know who did that.
It was just once.
Just once.
What's the
Don't
next
hurt
one,
me,
Maddie?
I just did it once.
Most memorable race.
Most memorable race. Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably 2020 UTV World Championships, just because we've been chasing the win at UTV Worlds for forever now, and gotten so close. It was 2019. We were leading. We had like a 10-second gap. And then I just tipped it over, and I ended up getting a concussion because it was really
man.
I snapped my neck pretty bad. But I came back then. I knew the next year, like, I wasn't going to let it happen again. So we got the whole shot and took the win. I was like, yes.
Dude, way to go, buddy. All right. Okay, you answered this question on Thursday, but let's hear it again. Your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Just plain chocolate.
Just going straight chocolate?
That is so basic of you.
Yeah.
Well, who was it that had the strawberry?
That's
was that
Rob.
That's Rob.
Strawberry, what is
Strawberry rendezvous.
Rendezvous? What's that?
Every time I'm around him, I bring it up like 15 times because I still think it's the weirdest name of
That's
anything
just
ever.
weird. You can just call it like strawberry.
Yeah.
Special strawberry.
Like, why do you have to
Special strawberry. That sounds great.
Like, why do you have
sounds
to
better.
Why do you have to rendezvous?
Yeah, it's not a rendezvous. It's just ice cream.
What ice cream flavor are you going with now?
Butter pecan or mint chip?
Butter pecan. That's where it's at.
Yeah. Oh.
What's Matt Lasher saying back there?
Okay, whatever. I wasn't supposed to bring this up, Matt. So my favorite flavor at Cold Stone is I get cotton candy and then I mix frozen strawberries in it.
That actually
sounds kind of good.
Yeah, and it makes you feel healthy when you eat it.
Because there's strawberry in there. I'm eating ice cream, but I feel healthy because there's fruit in here.
Hey, I don't need to go on a diet. I just need to feel like I'm going on a diet. That's
if I'm
all I
eating
need to
fruit,
do.
is it really that bad for you?
Feel skinny. That's all that counts.
Yeah.
I don't eat the whole pepperoni or the whole pizza. I just eat the pepperoni and the cheese.
Yeah.
God, it's great, right? It's you. You're the next one.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
I like you.
Dogs all day. We just became best friends.
Are we best friends?
Netflix or YouTube?
Probably Netflix because they had a cool F1 series.
That
Drive to
Driven?
Survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good series.
That thing was so good. That really was cool.
Yeah.
Did you watch season 3?
Yeah, I just finished it up last night.
Yeah, pretty intense, right? That's why I want to see. Like, I want to see Extreme E get to that level.
That would be cool. Have their own show.
Yeah, like to behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. You can see every driver in the paddock though is like, God, Netflix.
Not
is
Netflix
here.
again.
I don't want these guys around me. Like, so boring. I hope I'm never that media guy.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, let's go.
Oh,
Let's
God.
go
Get
back
out
in
of here. I don't want to
RV.
answer third grade questions.
Yep.
Burrito or tacos?
Ooh.
I know.
You have to think about this.
That's a hard one. Probably a burrito. I don't know.
Tacos.
Tacos all day.
Tacos.
Tacos? Oh.
You're outruled here.
Okay.
Hey,
So we're not best friends anymore?
What kind of burrito
No.
are you going with?
It's just simple. Carne asada, cheese, and a little bit of salsa. Sometimes
Yeah.
lettuce if you're feeling a little
What
healthy.
about the guacamole?
No, I don't like guacamole.
Yep, we're not friends anymore.
Okay. We just broke up.
Yep,
dude.
no more.
All right, since you like Eli Tomac, I kind of feel like I know what the answer is going to be, but supercross or motocross?
Motocross.
What about short course or desert? Not in what you want to do right this second.
I feel like short course is more entertaining to watch because there's action, but it's a lot shorter. Like
Right.
15 minutes and the race is over. I'd probably go with desert racing.
So we talked about this, I think, a little bit on Maddie's
friends
show.
again.
Is like
We're friends.
the desert racing is rad, but you're battling yourself and time the whole time, right?
Yeah.
The short course is more like MMA. Like, it's knock down, drag out. All you can do as fast as you can go. Like, it's a totally different format, right?
Yeah, short course is the fastest guy. The guy that has the most raw speed is probably going to win.
Yeah.
Whereas desert, you got to be a little bit more technical, a little bit more of a smart driver.
I don't know if this actually is a true statement, but somebody told me one time that short course racers can go race desert, but it's hard for desert racers to go race short course.
Yeah.
The short course guys always roll. Sorry, Ethan.
Yeah,
they
that
always
is true.
roll
Think
like
they
in the
get too,
desert
like,
races because they get
too
too
hot
like
right off the
amped
bat.
up. Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah.
like short course, you're used to running 110%
Yeah,
the whole time. In
exactly.
desert racing, you can't do that because you're going to break.
But
if
then
you do
most
that.
desert racers don't do well in
Short
short
course, 'cause they're not used to going
because they're
that
not used to be.
110%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's,
Back, yeah, kind of even.
The intensity
even.
level is different. So when you transfer from one to the other, it doesn't work out.
I can agree. That's good that you guys know that though, because that means that you guys can understand that format of racing. All right, what's the next one, Maddie?
what other form of racing would you like to try?
Oh, gosh.
This could be anything. You could do monster trucks. Dude,
Monster Jam would be awesome.
we had one dude talk about those like speedboats that go in the marsh that like
those
turn
things
all
are
quick.
crazy. They're going like 200. No, I don't know about that, but they're going like 100 miles an hour.
Seems like
and all of a sudden they just turn on a dime.
When they whip around, it looks like they get whiplash every time.
It does. I don't know how their like necks aren't sore.
So where?
And then they have the co-driver, and he's giving out like rally call signs. Like,
yeah, but he just goes like this.
he doesn't even speak.
Yeah, it's intense, right?
Yeah.
So what form of racing are you going to try? Clearly, you want to do every single one of them, but you got to pick one.
Like one that I'm not doing right now.
Ooh, you were going to pick one that you're doing right now? That's a new one.
That's not very adventurous of you.
It really isn't.
Does trophy truck racing count? Like, could I say that? Because I race UTVs.
It would be super boring to have that answer, but I mean,
probably
like,
Monster Jam.
I mean, what
Monster
about
Jam's
like
pretty
Rally,
cool.
F1?
Or
You
Rally
have all
would be
the,
cool.
Yeah.
Rally or Monster Jam?
Monster Jam's intense, right?
Monster Jam's is.
I feel like you got to have a real strong vertebrae section for those Monster Jam landings,
Yeah.
though. All right, so is it? Yeah, I'll just let you ask the last question.
Okay. Ooh. Chips and guacamole or fries and ketchup?
I answered this one on Thursday, and I got a lot of hate for it.
Dude.
You're
Fries
going to
and
say
ketchup.
fries and ketchup.
Yeah. I don't like guacamole.
Maddie's like throwing the mic
Yeah,
down
I
and
know.
leaving the show.
I'm out.
I don't like guacamole. I can't.
Oh, what about chips and salsa then?
Chips and salsa probably.
Oh, there we go.
Over fries and ketchup?
Yes.
All right. We're cool now.
You pass.
Yeah.
Barely.
Passed, like, it wasn't an A, but like he passed like a C minus.
C minus.
Barely. All right, so, well, good job on answering all those questions. Thank you, Maddie, very much for doing that. I want to thank all of our sponsors for supporting the show. I want to thank everybody for joining in and having a good time with us. I'm sorry we couldn't get Facebook going, but we are definitely going to put the video up there. It'll probably be in way better quality since we're going to upload it. So go check it out on Facebook if you haven't already seen it on YouTube or are listening on iTunes, because some of the facial things that we saw today and some of the awesome stuff that Maddie was doing with her hand gestures for the Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader are definitely worth seeing. Thank you to the guys over at KMC Wheels. Thank you to the guys at EFX Tires. Thank you to the guys at Shock Therapy. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at shocktherapist.com, and you can save a whole bunch of money on anything that they do, steering racks, all kinds of cool stuff. Sway bar links. You can even call them up and get a whole big old discount on your ride improvement system. Those guys do a fantastic job over there. They've been a supporter of the show since day one, so thank you very much to those guys. Thank you guys over at Zollinger Racing Products. Man, they make some intense stuff. They have like trophy truck parts for UTVs now. The level of UTV products that are out now is just insane. So you can use the code DIRTLIFE at ZollingerRacingProducts.com, and you can save a whole bunch of money over there. Tell Travis and the boys we said hello. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at solderweld.com, and you can get yourself one of these awesome off-road repair kits. Hopefully these things will be in four-wheel parts one of these days. These things are awesome. They have all of the as Ethan drops everything.
Very suave.
These off-road repair kits can repair your race or your ride. They have all the metals to bond, or everything to bond metal in the bag, and you can get home. These things have actually helped quite a bit of people in a trophy truck repair their race and actually finish the race. So you can use the code DIRTLIFE at solderweld.com, get a big old discount. And thank you to the guys at CryoHeat for coming on board for 2021. They make fantastic products for UTVs. A lot less rolling resistance when you treat your metal, and they can save a whole bunch of weight in some of their Pro Mod transmissions. So please tell Josh and all the guys over at CryoHeat that Dirt Life sent you, and they can help you out. They make fantastic products. Like I said, thank you so much for everybody tuning in. You guys are our lifeblood. We love hanging out with you every Monday night. I know these shows are long, 2.5 hours, but it seems like when we're done with them, we haven't even asked the questions about their whole life. These guys are fantastic guests, and we are very, very lucky to have everybody supporting the show. Next week's guest is someone that you guys both know, the youngest Dakar stage winner, Seth Quintero.
Seth Quintero.
And we're going to do it at the 4 Wheel Parts down in San Marcos, California. So that's going to be a really awesome show. Ryan Edwards from KMC Wheels is going to come co-host that with me. So that's going to be a really cool show to see what Seth thinks. And he's such a young, awesome driver, man. And he started out very similar to the way that you guys are, too. So he's somebody that you probably idolize as well, just like you did Casey Sims, right?
Yeah.
So we can't wait to talk with him. Thank you very much to everybody at 4 Wheel Parts in Temecula for giving us the opportunity to hang out here and have such an awesome show. I appreciate Casey Sims calling in, Kaden Danbury calling in, all the families for coming out and supporting their children tonight. Thank you, Maddie, for co-hosting. You did an awesome job.
Thank you for having me.
You are always welcome to co-host anytime. So, and dude, Ethan, you're a bad mofo, so keep it going, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your Monster sponsorship and more progress in 2021, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, you got it, dude.
Thanks for hosting, Maddie.
I got you.
Yeah, she did a good job, right? And she didn't even finish her Starbucks.
Wow,
I
that's
know. I was
incredible.
pacing myself. I was talking too much.
All right. So thank you guys very much for joining us. We had a great time with you guys. We will see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.